Blog Talk Radio.
Shalom, Lekulam. Peace to everyone. Welcome to the Reset Button Season 3. This season, we welcome the listener to join us while we journey through Isaiah, one of the most controversial books in the Word. We would like to accomplish understanding of the salvation of Israel mentioned. Is it one spoken of in the New Testament? Is it someone we're waiting on? Or is it in the past? Walk through this with us as we attempt to uncover this mystery. The call-in number is 516-595-8238. And press 1 at any time that you have questions or that you would like to leave a comment. Our collective email is histaught1talkradio@gmail.com. Our Facebook page is His Taught Ones and His Taught Ones Talk Radio. We also have the YouTube page at His Taught Ones Talk Radio. Subscribe and we'll be posting our episodes every week. Shalom and have a good show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another season of His Taught Ones. Talmidim, yo, here we go, back at it again. You did, yourself, Shema and some friends. We learned hard through better sheets, the Melechim, now fresh start to what is hot. I never yin, here come the prophets, they're dropping some knowledge, abolishing doctrines, apology nonsense. They bring the word, you can call them the pinpoint, given by the hand of the head, he is the pinpoint. Or could it be it's another? So many distances from the children, it's a misnomer. Honestly, the aroma is hideously unbearable. There is no one accord. How dare we say that we're hearing you? I don't wanna see you.
Yisrael, Holy One of Israel, Anachnu modim lecha al yom nosaf ve'al milah. We thank you for another day and for your word. Barech bivakasha et ha-mifkash hazeh. Please bless this gathering. Bo'u nishmiah. Let us say Amen. Amen.
Shalom, everyone, and welcome to another segment of the Rest Show. It's been a while. I've been missed for a couple of weeks, I believe. This is Shema Talmido, and I am accompanied with my co-partner in crime, Yosef HaOrech Din. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. My bad. Sometimes you gotta give me like a couple seconds because I be put the phone off of mute. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm here. Go ahead. I don't know if you wanted me to say shalom, and well, because I'm going to say that anyway. Shalom. I am his partner in crime. I guess is that you want to call it, and I'm the one that robs the bank, and he's the getaway driver. Welcome to the show. My opening statements is just welcome, and I'll talk more as the show go on. Unless you wanted me to say a little bit more about what's going on today.
Oh, well, I mean, just starting off with an open discussion. I wasn't able to make it last week. I heard it was pretty nice, interesting show. Didn't end up doing the chapters, I believe. It went in another positive direction, which is great. So, this just following up after that show, going into this one. And I believe this shows, like you were stating a little while ago, just being a rest show. It's open discussion on different matters that people might have in regards to whether dealing with the scriptures or even dealing with life itself. So, the floor is just open. I really don't have any specific thing at this very moment to just dive into. So I'm just leaving it open. So if you have anything to say or, talk about, more than welcome to, take over in that regard.
Yes, I did. It's just basically in regards to, I'm not on the panel right now. I don't even know if he's on right now. I mean, I'm not on the board. But I did want to say that last week it ended off. I don't know if everybody heard it, but it was very inspirational to me. Period. The brother was speaking, and he was talking about how far he's seen Yedaya come. Now, he knows him from a long time ago. Now, me, Shema, and Yedaya, we've known each other for a couple of years now. I mean, at least the show's been going on for 2 years, and we knew each other, of course, before the show, because we gotta know each other to say let's start something.
Right.
But it started out with and the show has been going on for 2 years, and that's a great thing. And I'm blessed to be a part of this show. And if y'all don't know, man, I was kind of sketchy and skeptical about this show, man. Only because it's like it's gonna take forever. It's a testimony. I did say I wanted to do it, but I wanted to go through it quicker than these brothers. But I'm so glad that I didn't. Mainly because we come into these things, something like this, and we already know the answers in our head. I mean, we know what we think this thing is about, and I think that's more so where I was at. So I've literally, y'all don't understand. I'm not bragging when I say I've come a long way in my understanding, even not understanding the Bible, understanding how much I didn't know about the Bible, if that makes sense.
Right.
I understood that I didn't know anything, but when I first got on the show, I thought I knew a lot of stuff. But anyway, I'll go back to the original statement. Don't want to veer off too much, but I've known each other probably like 3 years now. You know what I'm saying? We all kind of came back or came into the truth around the same time, kind of find out. And, well, it's been about 4 years I probably know you now, huh? Because it started out on Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah, man, it's been a while.
Time flies. That's all I know. Because for the show to go on for 2 years, I knew them before, like as far as Facebook, but he knew Yedaya personally. You know what I'm saying? And he said where he's come now and all this other stuff. And I was like, that's amazing. I mean, because I know him from us having a common agreement on the Holy Spirit. I think that's how it kind of started. Or not even. It was before that. Shema and Yedaya knew each other, and we was in this group, and we was going back and forth. Well, it was a debate group actually, and they seen some stuff I was talking about, and they really was like, "Hey, you seem to be on the same thing we on," and they reached out to me, and it was a blessing since they reached out to me because we kind of did have some of the same ambitions, and that's one of the biggest things when you're linking up with people. You want to have the same ambitions, the same drive, the same goal. And honestly, man, it's like they really, them and Sister Hakma with a lot of her questions that she had kind of pulled me out of a place where I might have been falling back into to the world because I was kind of veering off. I had a lot of knowledge about some things. Well, I thought I had knowledge about things. Well, I knew some translations real good. So I thought I'd do something, but I was just in a place where it wasn't anything that anybody did. It was just how I felt about myself. Sometimes I'm not saying that we worthy, but we get to that point where we feel like I'm so unworthy that I can't even come to the Most High no more. I can't even. I feel bad reading the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how we get to that point, but whatever. And I got to that point, but it was like before I didn't get there, but before I got there, some people came into my life, which was these people, and these brothers kind of, I don't know if I told them this already, but they kind of pulled me out of it because it held me accountable. Some other people had held me accountable for something, and they looked towards me to be accountable for it. So it made me even search the scriptures. It got me back into the Word. Sister Hogma got me back into the Word. You know what I'm saying? Because I had situation happen, and I got down about the situation. You know what I'm saying? I made a mistake, and I couldn't overcome the mistake that I made. And it wasn't like a sin mistake. Like that. That's the bad part about it. It wasn't like, oh, I made a big sin mistake. I made a big life choice mistake. And then I met these brothers a little bit after that or whatever. And like I say, I'm in the debate group. And ever since then, it's been like this. So I don't know the growth of Jedediah. I just know Jedediah is when I met him. And he's come a long way from when I met him, but that goes the same way for Shema. That goes the same way for myself, but I didn't know how far it goes before that. So it was a big thing. It was a good thing to hear because what y'all don't know is me, Shema, Jedediah are alike in a lot of things, not in our belief system, but when we came back, how we met up, the things we kind of been through and went through, it's crazy how the Most High will link you up with some people. But it was like that. I was very excited about the show. I was liking everything I heard from him. I wish he didn't cut off. I kind of wanted him to, I was going to have him end it off in prayers. I wasn't going to try to stop his flow. I just was trying to let him know the show was going to cut off. But he gave some good information. The reason why I said it is because we've been doing this, and literally we didn't know if there was any purpose in it. Like, nobody hits one like that, and then two people hit the one that don't hit the one like that. That was like, what? So that took over the show for us, but that's what the Most High wanted because it was needed. It was needed in the aspect of what he needed to hear as far as, he got questions and he wanted to give some stuff over his. But it was some things that he said that I needed to hear say, okay, you know what, this isn't for nothing. Okay? This has some progress. Okay? We are going in the right direction because, you know what I'm saying, he's acknowledging that his buddy that he knew, you know what I'm saying, from beforehand, has had an astronomical growth that he could recognize. It's something different for me, Shema, to recognize it. We give him accolades because we his homeboy, but this is somebody that said, well, I've known him from before that, and that's a great thing to hear. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, that's a great thing to hear. And I'm pretty sure Shema come a long way, too. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that when you hear it, I don't know, it's different. I don't know how to explain it. We can boost ourselves up all day, and that goes nowhere. And it's not that he boosted him up. It was just sometimes you need to hear that you're doing good. And there's nothing wrong with getting the accolades sometimes because it keeps you going. If you don't hear it and you don't see the fruits, just imagine going to a garden, and I'm going to stop with this, but going to a garden and planting and watering and planting and watering, and then the season come up for your strawberries, and ain't nothing pop up. You're like, what did I do wrong? All this time I took the planting, and I thought I read the right stuff. But to see the first fruit, like, pop up, and you be like, oh, or somebody else noticing your fruit on tree, like, hey, man, there's some fruit on that tree. Word, it is. That did something for me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm the flow Jedediah. I mean, not Jedediah, Shema. Sorry about that. And that I just wanted to say about last show. Just continue on what I felt about it because it ended like boom, and I didn't get a chance to say how I felt about it. I know I hit them in their messages. It was like, yo, the end of the show, right? Like the group message was like, yo. I need to hear that. But, yeah, that's it, man. Go ahead. You got the flow back there for a second.
Yeah. I wish I knew his number. We have a couple of people on now. You say he got cut off. It was Philip, right? Was it Philip? who was the one who was speaking? Who was it?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, and I believe I know his number. But give me a second because I have to get on my phone and get on it. So give me 2 seconds to try to find out if his number's
take your
on.
time. Take your time. I was just about to say
if you are on, press 1, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say, if
great
you're
minds think alike.
And you, yes, sir. Ken Adon. There you go. So he pressed 1. I believe this might be him. So if this is you, you're gonna have the floor, man. Continue what you was speaking on last week before you got cut off. I'm opening 843-605. You are live right now.
Shalom, brothers.
Shalom.
Brother Philip. I said most of my points. I know I got cut off and whatnot, but I think what was in my heart, or what was what I was really trying to really express on last week was the fact that we have so many people with you have your different beliefs, you have your different what you're thinking in your head, and we all just trying to search for the truth at the end of the day. And I guess I don't want the show itself to repel people, because one belief is stronger. It seems like it's being, dominated, where other people can't really, follow. So that's kind of why, the whole show began. And that's why I brought up the point with me and Brother Yada. When I met this guy, he was like, I ain't gonna say far from him, but it's like I didn't know if he had a relationship or anything established with God, but I had it, but he saw something in me. So it was like we always kept contact on Facebook and whatnot, and one day out of the blue he's just talking about the same stuff that I'm talking about. We just connected like that. So we became real close like that. And I just seen him grown from that point to like, man, to where he's at now. And I'm like, I have to be humble. I have to be to a place where, hey, it ain't about what I've been taught and all. People, God gives everybody a message. Somebody has a passion. Someone grows and whatnot. And I think of the teachings, of Christ and Himself. I think of the things, and I say, well, it's good. It's not like it's something like bad for your health or anything like that. It's good messages. I don't know what to think of it, because, all right, I'm learning, like, a lot of the stuff that we were taught was like, all right, well, it ain't this way, but then still the message itself is okay. So do I not accept anything, or do I just pick and choose? So it's like, all right, I'm getting to a place now where I'm understanding, but I know other people out there too, like, all right, well, I've been taught this way, but then I felt this way, or I connected to people a certain way. So it's like there's still some good in it. We just got to try to find out how to get to a place where we all can, like, how me in the panel and other people in the panel, we can communicate. We can discuss, we can have open dialogue, and we don't repel anybody. Because, like I say, it's just you give an honor to people who diligently, search for the truth, and it. You know the truth. It might be hard for people to accept, it's hard for people to understand it, but you know it. But you got to always keep that open dialogue for people to, come along board. Because, like I say, I've been on this show before, and I had to learn. I've been rebuked plenty of times because I'm the way I've been taught. That's the way I've kind of, been exploring the Bible. So I take pieces of the scriptures, and I paste other scriptures, and I try to make them come together. And that's kind of how they do in church. I'm learning this stuff, just through this show. Like, you can't do that. Like, I can't just take, because the words say one thing in one place, and it's the same word. You develop your own context, and you take the context, two different contexts, and you make your own context. And I just learned that was just wrong. And I'm like, all right, well, I got to learn how to actually study and read and take things for what it is, and don't try to, make it applicable to bring out a point. And that's kind of how, it's been for me and going to church. And I see this now when I go to church. Sometimes I do go, and I listen to the word, and I'm like, man, they're doing this, and it's what is it for? That's why I'm like, well, why are they doing it? Are they really just trying to help, or are they just trying to sell a product, or what? So I'm just at this point now, and this before this show started, me and Yada Yada was just like that. We were all like, why did church do this, or why this and this? So we just had that same thought, and he just dug deeper. I think he just experienced more than I experienced, and it compelled him to go deeper, search harder, and he's just grown to be a very inspirational person. So, I stand down when y'all talk and y'all know y'all stuff. I stand down. I just gotta write it down on paper and just take notes and go for myself and figure it out. Or if I can't figure it out, I'll contact one of you on Facebook. But the biggest thing is I don't want people to be repelled away from the show because if they can't see it or they don't understand it, and they've been taught taught a certain way for so long, and it's very difficult to come around. It just takes some people longer, and my hope and my prayer is that the show, gain more listeners because it's good stuff. I'm trying to get my own family on the show, but I'm just like, I don't know how they're gonna receive it because, it gets tense, which I wanted to, because my family got a lot of Bible knowledge, but when they start realizing the context, and that's the biggest thing, putting things in the context, then I think that people gonna start looking back and saying, all right, let me check this out, because that's what I do. I check it out, I read and learn. Oh yeah, you're right, So that's kind of how I became humble. So that's what I was trying to really say last week. I know it got really, real good to me. It got real deep, but it was a powerful show. Yeah.
That's awesome. I appreciate it. We appreciate that, Brother Phillip. I want to comment on a few things that he said. I'm going to pull you out, and if you want to speak again, just press 1. I'll bring you right back in. So let me take you out. Just press 1 to get out, and then press 1 to get back in. If you allow me to yourself, I'm going to just comment on a few things that he said. He made some good points, and then, of course, you come in right behind me. Man, some of the stuff he said, and I'm trying to see what order I want to speak on. I think sometimes, like he said, him and you did, was questioning a lot of stuff. It was things that they saw. It was like, man, this just don't seem right. Sometimes I feel like certain people are moved in a way to where things rub them the wrong way, and your spirit knows something's not right. Some people are just ignorant to it, and they're not aware of it. They're not open to question certain things. They're just like, you know what, I'm going to just take it in. So I think that's like probably one of the first things that will allow you to test your knowledge in order to grow. I know one of the things that Yeshua or Yahushua or Jesus said, like he said, he got some good things said up in there, good principles. I think a lot of the good principles and things that were said, you still can find it in the Tanakh and the Torah. But one of the things that he said up in there, I was trying to find the scripture. Well, not the scripture, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the gospel in which it was in. When he said something about being rooted. And the reason I'm bringing the rooted part out is this. I'm one of the people that I know these brothers are as well, but I really practice trying to be careful how to present certain things. Some people say, man, just give it to them, whatever. They're going to take it or they're not. And I agree with that point because no matter how delicate you are with what you present to somebody, it's ultimately going to be up to them, and it's going to also be up to how rooted they are in their belief. What I mean by that is, if you are bringing context, biblical truth, regardless of the knowledge, because perfect example, my stepfather, he is a minister. My father's a pastor. Stepfather's a minister. My stepfather, I talk to him a lot more concerning a lot of things that we know now. He listens, and he does not. He kind of like what Philip said. Philip said he just, he sits back for a minute, just soaks it in, writes it down. My stepfather, he listens to me. He don't argue back and forth because he sees that I have some type of understanding. I'm not no more, I'm not no rabbi, I'm not none of that. But he sees that I do my due diligence and study, and I got some brothers that helps out too. You know what I'm saying? Yourself and Yediah, who help challenge my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And help make sure that I'm on the right path as far as context is concerned. So when I'm presenting this to him, my stepfather, who's a minister as well, he can't do anything but sit there and listen and take notes. He asks questions too, but it does not deter him. He's rooted in what he believes. But you might have some that, and the purpose of me saying this is this, as far as when he said like repelling, a person that's rooted in the belief will not get repelled. A person that wants to stay a part of something that they're in love with and have no understanding of the Bible or knowledge will be repelled. Now, let me clarify what I'm trying to say on that, because it's a lot of people that believe they have knowledge, just like yourself said. We believe we had it. We were so, man, no, you wrong. You wrong. No, that's, we was like, a lot of people was like that. Some people was. But you have some that will be like that, have a little bit of knowledge, but don't really have context, and they're gonna repel because they have that type of knowledge. Then you have others that will really want to learn, really want to grow, and really be open to it. So I just wanted to talk on those three things. I think it was three things that he said, man. It just brought that out of me. I wanted to bring it out. I don't even know if I made sense a lot of stuff I was saying to you all, but hopefully you grasped some of what I was trying to convey. So that's all I got right now.
Oh, yeah, just to piggyback, I understand what Shema's saying. I'm just going to say something along the lines of, as far as the repelling. I think the first step, just in repelling in a different way, not repelling as for retracting and disappearing forever, but I think the first step is, of course, like he said, your spirit, what something inside of you is like, what is going on here? And you either got two options at that aspect. You can listen to it and then go study on your own if that's the type of person you are, or you can just flat out reject it. And it goes two ways, because don't get it twisted. I'm in a couple of debate groups. I had to leave some of them because it was too much. But I'm in a couple of debate groups, and I collect information myself. Sometimes I put out information. I try not to bash nobody and talk bad about nobody. But I'm going to keep it real. Like, I've been talked about, and I ain't said nothing negative to anybody. As soon as I've come to something that they didn't agree with, I'm talking about, I've seen the most, I want to say shalom brothers, but I can't put the foil at the back because I don't know how to say shalomful or peaceful. So I've seen the most peaceful brothers snap. They're like really go hard and talk about me. And I'm like, okay, well, where the scriptures at to prove what I'm saying? I mean, prove what you're saying. And I've built a lot of emotions because we're emotionally tied to this thing. And when you tell somebody that, hey, the whole foundation is messed up, off top, first thing that's going to happen is they're going to reject it. That's just because I've rejected it before. Like, I rejected myself. That's what I'm saying. I had fought with myself. So if I fought with myself, I know darn well if somebody else was to bring this information to me, I probably would have fought with them. I've seen people talk about some of the stuff that we talked about. I just didn't give it no ear. Like, whatever, man. These people tripping. You know what I'm saying? I hope they come back to, to the Most High, and I kept pushing. But in the same term, it was like, when I got to a point where I ran across something myself, and then I was like, well, hold on. Something don't feel right about this. I have to get to the bottom of it. That's what, that's where some people would be. And then, like I say, some people would just reject it all off top. There's nothing that you can say. Honestly, it's something that you might talk to that's going to either pray for you right then or go home and get in their closet and pray for you so you can come back to the light. And it's something that I said. It's another thing that we used to say in church that kills the game when you try to present something. The thing that goes to people's head is the devil knows the scripture too. And now you're the devil, or the devil's influencing you, or the Antichrist spirit or whatever, and that's how you know the scripture so well. It can't be that you study. It can't be that you just know them. It has to be something else. And a lot of times people don't have an answer for this. And it's not really to have an answer for it. And it's not to debate. It's not to, it's really, to be honest with you, out of love, you want to bring some information out. Out of love, you want to pass this information on that you have to someone else, to your family members, to your friends, and you want them to receive it because you've seen something. You want to see if they see it, and you want them to come into a different light so maybe y'all can try to grow in this thing together, but usually it doesn't happen like that. Usually the information that you bring to your family and your friends, they, like a better words, repel, and some of them come back and some of them don't. We've seen this on this show. We've had emotions fly on this show. Some people haven't come back as 2 years ago. And you know, at first you might feel like, hey, you know, they just feeling some kind of way, they'll come back. Nah, it's just not for everybody. Like you said, some people come in different at times, and some people will never come. That's the sad part about it is there's gonna be some people that will not listen no matter what. I don't care how many scriptures you put out. So we just have to be discerning on who will receive it and who won't. Like I said, how to present it. That's always a big thing, especially with me, how I present it. But don't get it wrong, you're gonna get the machine gun Kelly every now and then. And, my Tourette's might kick in. So I just gotta, you know, excuse my Tourette's, but I'm not always like that. But sometimes when I get to a point where it's like, okay, I can't explain what I'm trying to say without just being me, just being straightforward and just saying what's on my head. You know, that's how sometimes I'm able to get stuff out that's effective to some, that's not effective to others. And so now, and I just wanted to agree with Shema about that everything we can find, all the principles should be rooted in the Tanakh. Or you're saying, or anybody would have to say that those principles are new. It's nothing wrong with some of the stuff that's in there unless it goes against Tanakh. And as far as how we're supposed to deal with people, all this stuff is supposed to be an expounding of the law. As far as what I used to believe, I felt like it was an expounding of the law. So with that being said, you know, then it should also be able to be found in the law, and that we should just be able to go off of that principle. But to me, some stuff is like, oh my goodness, this has nothing to do with the law. And if it's good about treating the person a certain way, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But okay, it's certain things I'm about to say. Well, but I'm not going to go that deep. But there's certain things that I want to hear, too. Like, I'm not finna go. And I'm going to keep it real. Some of y'all probably ain't going either. And y'all probably would know exactly what I'm talking about because I'm just going to say it. I got to say it, man. Forget it. It's an open discussion, right? Cool, right? So, I ain't never really, something never really sat right with me with turning the other cheek. Not ever. Like, I told myself I always said, that's the one thing I'm not going to just get slapped, turn and get slapped again. I might not turn from getting slapped the first time, but I don't think I could take a couple slaps or punches or pinches or something. I'm going to pinch you back. I always say that's why I fail at the law because I can't let nobody beat on me. I have to be able to defend myself, and it's not that I'm going to be an invoker of anything, but I just can't be helpless and get beat up. And I know it's maybe a more of a principle thing to it that I might have missed, but I remember growing up as one thing that I always used to you used to not sit well with me. Like, I can't do it. I learned how to defend myself. I was in martial arts, and I'm not gonna sit there and let nobody do nothing to me. But that was just one of the things. But if that works for someone else, that's fine. It just never worked right with me. And I'm talking about in the midst of straight church. It was like, sometime we'll get to that, and I'll be like, man, I don't know about that, because I just can't do it. And my stepfather was the same way. He was like, I don't, somebody hit me, I just can't go without. I mean, not saying it's accidents, but if somebody punching on me, I'm going to punch him back to make sure I don't get punched out up in here. And that's just one off the top of my head. It's not like I got a whole bunch. That's just one that I know that I've carried with me for years since I was a child. So that's one of the ones that's easier to identify as far as something that I just probably can't even. I've never been able to rock with, and there's nowhere in the Tanakh to turn the other cheek and take abuse. More so, it's a fair judgment. Is that eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth is not really like literally I got to pluck your eye out, but it's really just fair judgment. It's what someone does to you or what is done to one person needs to be done back to that other person. That person needs to be repaid back for whatever losses occurred, and that is the way the Tanakh is Torah is set up, right rulings and fairness and equal measures. The Most High is very adamant about the way you treat people equally as far as judgment-wise and stuff like that. Now, don't get it twisted. He's never really been one of the people that be like, I'll go out there and treat the Gentiles. Well, I use Gentiles loosely, but I'll say, go out there and treat the heathens. Come bring them into the house. The Most High like, nah, they can't be over here like that. But, I really ain't trying to have y'all over there in their face either. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the people that want to do right, even the ones that were sojourners and foreigners, this is where I'll use the word Gentiles, that was in the land, he's like, hey, you got to treat them decent too. Like, you can't go out and be treating them bad because they are foreigners in your land, because he said, remember when you was foreigners in Egypt. So just to remember how you was in Egypt in your slavery and you got treated bad, don't do the same thing somebody did to you as far as treating them bad, treating somebody else bad. It had nothing to do with what you had went through. Or don't, you know what I mean? So, that's that. Like I say, he said some good things. Like I said, it was very encouraging, and just one of those. Like I said, it's just one of those conversations that was good. I don't know if you had anything else.
Yeah, we got Brother Mercy on the queue too.
Brother Mercy.
We got Brother Mercy.
Hey, brother back. I want to say welcome back, brother. We missed you in a couple weeks.
I'm gonna bring him in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brother Mercy, you're live.
Yeah, I wanted to say real quick that the turning of a cheek principle is not a New Testament principle. It was taught in the Old, because when the Hebrews were mistreated by the Egyptians for hundreds of years, they had to turn the other cheek for a period of time. I'm pretty sure when the Egyptians mistreated them, they didn't do eye for an eye because they were slaves. And when you're a slave and you're in bondage, and then that's when Yahshua's giving this teaching, you got to understand the Romans are in charge. And I think people forget that part of our history, how we had to endure mistreatment and unfair treatment to get where we're at today. Let's not fool ourselves and think that we just came out fighting, because that's not how we got our civil rights. we got our civil rights by protesting and getting beat down. I mean, let's just call it what it is. So our ancestors turned the other cheek. But then when Yahweh gives the instruction, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, that's when they're headed towards their own land and they're establishing their own government. Then you in charge. It's a different scenario. So I just feel like, for a period of time, we had to turn the other cheek. I really believe that. I believe we've been turning the other cheek. I really believe that. But now it's time to establish Torah, okay? and let's get eye for an eye. So we grow to that point. You follow what I'm saying? So I think we're growing to that. Eye for eye. For now, it's eye for eye too. Somebody get in the car accident, they tear up your car. It's eye for eye now. But we had to come to that point. So I think that just shows how the Most High has grown us and blessed us, where now we can do eye for an eye, whereas before, you know, we had no rights. You know what I'm saying? We had no human rights. So I mean, you know, you had to turn the other cheek to try to. But of course, I believe that means something else, and that goes back to Jacob Lee. Back to Jacob Lee. So I really believe it has a different practice. But I'm just saying, as far as turning the other cheek, I know you could easily say that today. I won't do it. You could easily say that right now. But if this was back in the 1200s and, you know, you was out there picking cotton, I think it would be a different scenario, you know. And you could fight back, but then you wouldn't be living, you know. So I'm just throwing the scenarios out there that, you know, we're blessed today to be able to say that, you know, that, oh, I ain't taking nothing off no white man. Yeah, you can say that now. But
well, we can't really say that because in some aspects we kind of do, though, depending on the scenario. You know what I'm saying? It's times people have to do certain things at their job, you know what I'm saying, or take some things at their job from upper superiors and stuff like that. And I understand that concept of it, you know what I'm saying, more so than anything else. But you got to understand also that, you know, like you were saying, the time of Roman captivity, you know what I mean, that turned another cheek. We had victory. Israel had victory at one point. It wasn't the fact. Let me tell you, the real reason why they lost is, you know what I'm saying, the fact that they fought each other. It wasn't the fact that they fought the Romans, because they really had the Romans back up and say, hold on, let us recalibrate a little bit, and of course to the death in the family of Titus. But they, you know, Israel had victory as long as they followed them laws. And that's exactly what the Most High would promote. Their real problem, of course, came from, of course, not following laws and then fighting each other and burning the storehouse where the food was at. So when it really went down, they were starving. So some of the people had to go out. I mean, it was weird. It's a whole big thing about the whole thing. Like there's a bunch of scenarios that I saw what they call it the Jewish war, but Jewish revolt. But the Israel revolt in 67 and then going to 69. There's a bunch of stuff that happened that could have been prevented as far as the people. So that's what I'm saying. Like really what should have been promoted is, let's go back to the law, because that's what made us victorious. And that's what the words say in the original. It don't say, well, just, you know, yeah, we up under subjection and we up under these curses and we have to sit back and put our head down in certain aspects. Now, I'm not really talking about the big authorities. Like I say, it could be some aspects where you might just want to be wise about where you at and what you're doing. I'm not going to say that, but let somebody walk up to me on the street, I'm at the gas station, and you mad because I cut you off on the thing, and you pull over here, and you shot me, dog, it's not finna go down the way you thought this was about to go down there. The wise thing for me to do is stop you from slapping me, or whatever the case may be, or disrespecting me or whatever. So that's where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, this is me personally. I always had a problem with that aspect or that thing. This ain't nothing new with me. But I would have to say that I guess it would depend on how you look at it, and I say everything to each his own. But for the way that it was taught to me, growing up was not, oh, the people subjective over you and, you know, the higher powers and stuff like that. No, it was turn the other cheek from this dude that do this. And then if somebody asks to borrow some money, give them more money. If somebody asks you to do a favor, go extra mile with them. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. Ain't nothing wrong with going the extra mile. But I might not. It might not be wise for me to give you more money in the first place. But you make me feel bad. You know what I'm saying? If I read their scriptures and they say, you know what I'm saying? If somebody homeless, you know, feed them, and it's good to feed them. But what if I'm starving too? You know what I'm saying? We have to have some straight logic without the religion. We have to have the reality of religion. when it comes down to some of this stuff, because a lot of times we take bricks out of our own house to build somebody else's house, and then we gonna come to find out we ain't got no house. All of that building, you know what I'm saying? So, that.
And I just want to say,
deeper to that, and I know you had your show about that turning of the cheek. You know what I'm saying? So we've had the discussion. I was on the show when you talked about the turning of the cheek. So I do know how you feel.
And so I wanted to say, and then the extra mile thing, it frustrated the Romans when they went an extra mile. It frustrated them because they were not supposed. Because when you deliver something or when you traveling, you're only supposed to travel the distance you're supposed to travel. When they went an extra mile, it frustrated the Romans. I just wanted to say that too. So everything Yahshua was saying is not to appease the Romans and to appease your enemies. A lot of it, if you really understand it, you will see it was to defeat the enemy. And
let me ask you a question. Would you say that extra mile thing? You say that's not prevalent to today's time, because if it was something to go against the Romans, would you say that was for the Romans? This is just a general question.
Okay, like for example, going the extra mile. Okay, I would go the extra mile if I got time and a half. If I got time and a half. You know, sometimes your boss don't want to pay you time and a half. So, an extra mile, yeah, but it's going to cost you. Hello? Are you there?
Sorry, I ain't hear you, my bad.
Yeah, I hear you.
You there?
Yeah,
Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I would go to extra. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Brother Mercy. My bad. I was on mute. You know, it take me a second sometimes to get off of the
Yeah, I was just going to say.
You got to talking and asking to ask.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as they paying you time and a half, then you go the extra mile. But if they're not paying you time and a half, then don't go the extra mile. And that frustrates your employee because some employees don't want to pay time and a half for overtime. So I do overtime as long as they paying me time and a half. That's good.
Shema, you the man today, man. You have to pick up. You know, you the man today.
Oh, okay, sorry, y'all. That mute button, man. Well, yeah. I don't know. I see both points of what you all are saying on that. I don't know if I could do I think I would have been one of those fighters. It's always been fighters in the groups. Your Harriet Tubmans, your Malcolm X's, your Martin Luther Kings, your Nat Turners, it's always those that fight. They might not fight right off the bat. They gotta assess the situation, and then once they assess the situation, they go hard. And they die, but they go hard. I would have probably been that person, man. I'm just saying, I might not come off as that. People call me the love person, blah, blah, blah. It took a lot of years for me to be where I'm at now, trust. A lot. I've been practicing very, very hard to do what I'm doing now.
You want to be honest with you, Shema, I think it's more so that you be wanting to just keep the peace. It's not just something that you will let somebody do something to you. I think you just don't, you don't want people arguing and fighting and all that. That's when I say it, you're more the peaceful brother. I'm more like, rah, and you more the, hold on, man, let's think about this. Maybe it's not, you give people the benefit of the doubt. That's not bad. I just don't like that. So I don't want you to misconstrue what we feel. I don't feel like you won't be a soldier. I just feel like you're going to get a benefit of the doubt before you get to throwing them rocks.
No. When it comes to war, it's a whole different ball game. Us doing this talking and all this stuff, it's just talking. But when we in the battlefield, it ain't no assessing or benefit of the doubt. We in the battlefield. We're there. You sit up here and get benefit of the doubt, you die. That's just my take. For us now, since it's not there, since we're not, that's the type of person I am now. Is like, okay, we're not there yet. Let's assess. So I like to say assess, to use it for lack of, I'm trying to use a word that can kind of, hit home on this whole topic. I try to assess it. But if the situation is there, it's no time of assessing, because that's when we die. So I feel what you're saying. I mean, I didn't take it to heart or nothing like that. I was just saying, it took a lot of years for me to get here. Because 5 years ago, I wasn't. I was, like I just told somebody this story yesterday at work. The type of person I was, I mean, I'm not trying to put it out there, like glorify it or anything. I'm not happy with it. That's why I changed. Was if you bumped into me, you probably would have got grabbed by the neck. Not probably, this actually happened. Bumped into me, get grabbed by the neck and thrown through the ground. That's the type of person I was. Without any questions. I shot first, asked questions later. I don't do that no more. I've seen what that direction, what comes from out of that direction, being that type of person. Luckily, I haven't been to jail or anything like that. Everybody else, all my other family members have. I was the one to bring myself out of it, and it was the kids. My kids changed me too. So, and it just took a lot of practice. Even like with the speech. I don't knock people that use profanity or anything like that, but that's something I had to practice. I think I might have used profanity 3 times in 4 years. That was actually practicing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. So it wasn't. It's not more so like just okay. He needs to make peace. I had to practice it, man. I see it's nothing good. It could be good out of it, being that way. Opposite of how I act. But for me and what I've seen, it's not good in it. It's not good in it to me. I could be wrong. It's just my thoughts, my belief. So yeah. Anything else anybody got to say as far as what Philip spoke on? Because all these is going off of Philip's initial statement. Anybody that's listening in have anything to say? All right. Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Yes, sir. Like I said,
I sure do.
I really don't have
I sure do. Hold on one second.
Okay. Brother Mercy back in the queue while you
Hold on one second. Yeah, you can open it up for Brother Mercy. I do have a couple subjects I want to talk about.
All right. Brother Mercy, you live. Brother Mercy, you're live.
Whole professionalism and not cursing thing, because I just believe we have to hold a certain decorum when we present information. Even with Black Jesus, of course, I work with him, but at the same time, I had to tell him. I said, man, look, all that cursing and stuff, I can't do, because as a teacher, I had to hold a certain level of professionalism. And, certain things I got to do, because, hey, I got to feed my family. You know what I'm saying? I got to take care of me. That's self-preservation. So we can make our point, but I think we can make our points in an intelligent way without all the foul language and stuff. I really believe we can do that. And I think if we stay on that pathway, it'll be a successful pathway. You know what I'm saying? As far as that, you can make your point to me without cursing me out. That's all.
That's a good point. I'm glad you said that, because, I had to. And okay, remember I told y'all. I just said to y'all, I used profanity 3 times in the matter of 4 years, and this was just recently. I'll tell y'all the story. I'll give you a little testimony on it. One of the things that I do not like being called is nigga. I don't like it. I hate it. I don't call nobody that. I haven't in years. So I show that respect towards my people. I think we're goofy by calling ourselves that. This is me. I ain't coming at nobody here right now. I'm just telling you what I believe. The word means in Hebrew, nigas, means oppressed ones. You can find that in Isaiah, I forgot, 50-something, or I could bring it out. But it actually means he who is oppressed or was oppressed or oppressed ones, one of the two. I thought it was interesting when I was doing my Hebrew studying. But to go back to what I'm trying to say, my point is I don't like being, first of all, I'm a man first. So I had an instant, the situation that happened at work, to where a person that's been riding to work with me, you know, I actually got him a place by me, helped him get this place through me, and I was letting him ride to work with me for months. He just recently stopped riding to work with me because he just got a new job. But you know, basically, I was the hand that was feeding him in a sense. You know, it wasn't for me or the Most High using me to help him. He wouldn't be able to go to work. He wouldn't be able, you know what I'm saying? I was just helping. So my point is this: he's very confrontational. He's very snappy and disrespectful to a lot of people. He wasn't doing it to me, but he was doing it to everybody else. And you know. He's a I wouldn't say compulsive liar, but he's someone that doesn't really tell the truth often. He bends the truth, stretches it. And, you know, I saw all this. You know, when you ride on somebody all the time, you pick up on a lot of stuff. So one day he just came in and he lied on me in front of, like, everybody. And one thing you don't do, don't lie on me, that's one. And then he started snapping on me in a way, like in a fighting way. And when he did that, I dropped jaws at that moment because nobody ever seen me react like that. And I went, Yosef I went Chicago on him real quick. And then I let him know, you know what? I gave somebody gas money to take him home. And you probably like, why you give somebody gas money? Because I felt the responsibility, you know, but I needed 2 days to, like, bring myself down. When I explained to him, I said, look, anytime somebody can shift or cause you to shift your character, you really don't want to be around them. I said, I've been practicing these ways for years, and it took for you to do that, for you to cause me to do that, which it was me that did it, then I need to separate myself from you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it was real hectic, and you know I didn't like that. So that was one of the moments that's probably within the last month and a half, man. And I'm big on speech. I don't like to call any of the men niggas. We're men first. So speak to me like a man, and then you'll be good. You start speaking to me not like a man, then you know you'll see a different Shema. For the most part, you're going to see me the way I am now. You know, I'm going to respect you. I'm going to treat you like a man. I'm going to talk to you like a man. But once you disrespect me, I'm not going to. That turn on the cheek stuff, that's when I don't believe with that thing. I don't believe that. No. I'm sorry. The New Testament part in that's fine. I get what my brother Mercy saying. But, man, look,
right.
I can't.
I mean, like, I understand what brother Mercy saying, but, you know, we got aspects of how it's taught in the church, whatever. Like I say, how I was taught in the church, you know what I mean? All that extra stuff like that was I'm not supposed to be fighting nobody. I shouldn't defend myself. And just think if it's taught in my church like that, I'm pretty sure my church wasn't the only one with that revelation. And then it's just like it's things that I see even you know, on posts, and they like you know, hey, look, we it was something about the enemy thing, like with the enemies and stuff like that, and then they basically saying, no, don't do nothing to enemies. But see, that it's not even about doing something that like a physical manner to your enemies. But it's nowhere commanded that we should be stomped out. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And if that's where I get with it. But I don't want to harp too much on, you know what I'm saying, that specific verse, because I do want to ask a question to everybody that is shifting. I'm shifting gears right now. Ask a question to everybody that's on, and I would love participation from everybody because
before
I
you
feel
go
like
forward,
before you
go forward, we got Hakma in the queue too. Just so you know, But go ahead. I just want to let you
go
know.
ahead.
So
Well,
if she had a question,
because she'll forget. She'll forget. Open it up.
Right. That's exactly why I said.
I'm not gonna forget my question. But yeah, open up the floor.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to let you know. Here you go. Sister Hakma, you open. Yeah.
Shalom. I just had a question
Shalom.
regarding the conversation regarding speech and vocabulary and the words that people chooses to use. Who decided and who made this thing that how you speak is your character? And who said because you curse, if I called you, just because I curse, just say I curse, I just want to know who made that incorrect. Who said, you know what, if you use these words, blase, skippy, blase, who made that up? And I asked that to say, that's just like, I'm a woman, okay, and I am not a small woman. So who made it where small women were that, how can I explain it? You see a big woman. Just
what you were supposed to be, basically like what they say is supposed to be the size of certain people, even though people come into
who made this up? It's like you tell me,
I got an answer.
Because you say certain words, oh, you're this type of person, or who said because you use these type of words is wrong? Who made this up? I'm just curious.
I got an answer. If you want me to tell you my thoughts. All right. One thing I want to put out a disclaimer for myself. That's why I always say I don't get on anybody that do. This is what I do, whatever. But to answer your question, I think it's more so common, off of what common, like lack of a better word, commonly done or common law. So I'm gonna answer the first question with the language, and then I'm gonna answer the second one with the size.
Okay.
No, I think the size thing is just basically to wrap it up into what is acceptable. You don't really have to go into the size thing. I think it's just more so to basically,
they both the same
in
thing.
a whole, as a whole.
Right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Basically,
it's both the same thing. They both the same thing. I won't even go with the size thing. They both the same thing. Meaning, what is when you ask them who made this? A question that I would ask somebody, because I've had this asked me a few times, is when you think of jobs, when you think of courtrooms, when you think of your own kids, when you think of anything dealing with a wide spectrum of settings, do you ever normally see those examples I just said too as well? Do you ever normally see people use what we would call cursing or cussing or profanity? It's always a form of respect. I actually put that in my books, Speak to Reach. So it's always some form of
because somebody made that up is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not right. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying you're saying it's a form of respect. But if I go over to a different country, this is how they talk. It's like, oh my God,
right? That's why I wasn't.
Like that. But that's how they talk. Go ahead.
Right. What I was.
Society. But go ahead. That's what made it up.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I wasn't. So I mean, I could answer it, Or, I mean, is it a real question or like a rhetorical question? That would be my question.
Both.
I would have to ask.
But I'm on mute, so go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, because I don't. If I'm just trying to answer it, but if it's long story short, I don't think that it's really a thing of being made up. I think it's what was commonly done and what was seen, what was saw, and then it was something put in place. Kind of like when you see with the Torah, it was laws that was there that was commonly done, and then they established it in writing. They made it a thing that was to be done because of what was commonly being done. That's just my take. And as far as when you're saying there's other people and how they raise and stuff like that, I agree with that. I agree that there's certain families that you might see kids and all that using cursing and all that stuff with their family. But I think the wide scale, like a people, how all the people together, what's the common thing? You know, because you might have people that might steal and they think it's okay because they have to live. They need to steal. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. Sometimes people might need to, but is it right to steal? You know, so it's. I think that topic is a little wider than just, you know, is that because
it is
of
very
people did it.
Touchy one, right?
Because it's
and
common.
I apologize if I came off wrong.
So let me say something.
Because it's common.
I think let's keep it real. Most common folks.
That's not what I was trying.
Okay,
to
but it's certain things that in every generation is language that is considered vulgar, and in this generation in this language that's vulgar. Like, but let's just go back to the biblical days. If you was to call somebody a dog, it was bad. Like, that was a bad thing to say biblical days. When you know the story when he was calling them ravenous wolves in sheep's clothing, that was their form of curse words right back then. It just, to us, it don't sound that bad because we probably top that with the extra icing. But back then, I mean, they for you to be called certain words in the Bible, you harlot, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't good. You know what I mean? People was like, you called me a harlot? That was like calling somebody the B word. So I think this is just, I would say in my opinion, because I don't curse. And the only reason I don't curse is because I feel like, well, I have used it, and especially when I'm angry. Yes, I'm not going to act like I have it, but it's usually that's how you know that I'm mad, and it's a word of expression. But I try not to use it in everyday speech for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want my daughter repeating what I say because it just don't sound. I don't like how it sounds coming out of her mouth. And I heard her say a couple words before, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what the heck? Where did you get that from? But on to, you know, just keep on the subject. Let's keep it real. Like, somebody to just sit there and curse every other word, those words really don't even hold nothing. You just got a lot of filler. And I usually, and this would be my opinion, you know, it takes a lot more. This is an opinion. It takes a lot more out of you, or it takes a lot more to find other words supplementing to not curse than it does to curse. You know, intelligent level, especially when this is the thing. Like, people don't go to their jobs and go flipping out calling people B's and, you know what I'm saying, and this, that, the other. Right. Depending on what job you at. And it's because of what this society and this language says, oh, this is bad, or because this isn't really, we didn't make this language, we didn't make the curse word. So, you know, in retrospect, yeah, somebody said it was bad, and I guess in this culture, this is bad. Now, if we don't want to adhere to that because in our personal opinion we don't feel like it's bad, that all goes down to personal opinion. But as far as the masses in the culture, well, American culture, if you walk out, let me just use this one. I didn't even know this was a curse word, but I have to say this like this because it's the only way I know how to explain this. White people use that word, the C word, okay? And I don't want to use it because I don't want to offend nobody because I didn't even know there was a curse word. Like, I didn't even know what it was or anything like that because nobody says that in the Chi. So growing up, you don't hear
right.
that. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows what it is. But it is the most disrespectful thing to say to a white woman or a white dude. But if you would have said that to me growing up, I'm like, what are you talking about? In our culture, in Chicago, don't call me a B and don't call me a garden tool. And we agree because that means that I'm some kind of punk. And a punk, you can't call me a punk either. But that's in Chicago. If you call somebody a punk and that dude ain't do nothing, that dude was a punk.
He ain't lying, though.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how that is. Let's give it. In Florida, that might not be the case. Let's use, for example, Texas. I done kind of adapted because I hear so much a word that it has every meaning ever. It doesn't even mean the same thing that it means in Chicago or any place else in the world. Because I've been to other places or any place that I've been, it doesn't hold the same meaning. But in Texas, it's a noun, verb, adjective, everything. And everybody says it so much that it's catching on. I've lost the sensitivity behind what it used to mean. And matter of fact, it's the H word. And Jedediah will attest to this. He heard somebody say it in my background when I was at work, and he was like, man, that bring me back home. I ain't been home in such and such years like that. But that right there is something he grew up hearing, and it's culture. So, like I said, even in our culture, some cursing in the majority of black people culture isn't bad. Because everybody used to curse, everybody curses, you hear it in everybody's house. MFer is probably the most prevalent thing I probably ever heard out of black people. You know, Samuel Jackson saying better than anybody else. But that's something that I heard. Like my father would say the S, you know what I'm saying? And he would say that so much, you just was like, he would say it in different ways that he said. That's his favorite one. So, like I say, it just all depends. For me
it's different
personally,
though, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's different because like when we like our kids, think of the kids. I think the kid, like, see, we won't allow our kids to use profanity. Most people I know, I don't know not one person personally that is cool with their child using it at all. I don't. If y'all do, let me know. But I've never met not one person. If they heard their kid use any type of whatever they feel is a foul language, they'll say something. Don't you say that? Why? Why are we saying that? Why are we saying don't you say that? Are we saying it because it was put on us not to say it?
I would say it because the culture that we stay in, the people that we stay with. Like, I don't want my daughter to go to school and say something, and then she's getting in trouble in school because that gets them in trouble in school. Did I make the rules? No, and it's not even really truly a rule, but it's an unspoken rule in this culture.
What about the actual? What about the etymology?
You can't even hardly say that. I've done it in school, bro. I've done it in school. I said the word just to be funny in context, but the teacher was like, "You could say donkey." I was like, "Why? It's an ass."
Wait, what word you talking about?
It's in the Bible.
Oh yeah.
It's in the Bible.
What I'm saying
is, and I couldn't say it in school.
What I'm trying to say is, to answer the question, I think it can probably be past what's being taught to us. It can actually be the actual word itself. When you look at some of these words and the definitions of it, you know, if we believe other definitions of every other word that we use, maybe it could have some to, you know, now I'm trying to bring it down to like a objective way of thinking now. Maybe it has to do with the definition of the word. Maybe that's what makes it bad. You know, the context of it, like you was about to bring out. Maybe it can be the definitions of the words that makes it a bad word, and not, you know what I'm saying? Because like you had brought out the what you said, a dog. What did he say? He said something dog in the New Testament or whatever. But to call somebody a dog, why is that bad? What makes that bad? We have to go deeper now if we really wanted to answer her question. And be objective about it. That could be my only answer. Maybe the definitions of the words, probably. I don't know. But for me to answer why I do it is more so, like what I was saying. If I'm trying to be somebody that present information and a certain way that I would like to live, then that's what because some people live differently. They might believe that this way is better or this way is more right. Then that's for them. So on a common thing. So what I was trying to say with the whole common thing, Mercy, I see you in the queue. The common thing that I'm trying to speak on is, okay, this family does this family does this, so it's a difference. We believe this, so it's a difference. So what's the common thing? What's the common understanding? One of the common understandings I see with every family that I've ever met in my life is that they do not allow no 2-year-old, 1-year-old, 3-year-old to curse nobody out. So, I mean, that's one thing that I think of. And then when you go in the courtroom, you ain't cursing at no judge. When you're at your job, unless you're in the warehouse, you ain't cursing at no employee or no manager, like out in the public, out front. You might do it under your breath or maybe one-on-one. So that's the common thing I look at. You look at any other country, I haven't been in no other country, but I've seen some of that culture through some of the studies of the YouTubes and videos. I just see a common way of life, even outside of culture, just a common way of life that people operate. That's all I got right now. So if you have some before I bring Mercy in.
I'm not going to too much hark on the curse words, but, I mean, we kind of know, what it is, you know what I'm saying? In retrospect, they don't want you talking any kind of way. So, yeah, they do control how you talk, and I know this is, where you're going. So it is, but what I'm saying is they made this that way. And if we had a little Israel, a little community where we can set what is, I mean, of course, a little Israel, we better be setting what's right according to Torah. But since this isn't one of those things in Torah, especially, we can kind of set what we feel to be acceptable in our community, what we want our children to say or how we want them to talk. Because, like I say, some of these words, no matter how it's used, because some words got a technical term to it, but some words, no matter how you use it, they disrespect it. Like the word I talked about earlier, that I was talking about the white people, that ain't got no good connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? Everything about that is negative and bad, and it's always used against someone. And it's used as to be, I'm going to try to disrespect you at the lowest point that I could try to disrespect you, and that's why they use the word. So, like I said, it all depends. For me personally, it's all about the culture, and it's all about what people feel, because the word wouldn't even be that bad if you used it in the right context. And curse words wouldn't even be that bad. Actually, if people probably wouldn't overdo them, you probably could walk around and say what you want to say wherever you wanted to say it if you just use them as an expression to amplify what you was really trying to say, and you didn't say it every other word. It might not be that bad, but people like to just take the ball and run and keep on running. Go ahead.
I got a question for you, and then Mercy come in. I got a question for Sister Hakma too. This will go for both of y'all. Then Mercy, I got you. My thing is this, and this is not towards any of us. Y'all. I'm just I'm thinking, man, we some hypocrites. I think that a lot of us are truly hypocrites. Think about it. We are, like you said, certain words, depending on context, how we use it, won't be as bad. But I think that statement is true, what you're saying. I agree with that statement in the context of what you're saying, right? But at the same time, it's like, okay, like women, for example, they don't like the B word. They don't like somebody outside of knowing them calling them that. And I can understand why. I wouldn't want to be called that either. But then again, they call them their own girlfriends that. So it's like.
Mom, mute.
Oh, you've been open, sis. You've been open.
And you're right. That word you're about to use, and I think it's to each his own, because I don't care about the word. It's just a word to me. But like you said, there's certain things I don't like to be called, and that's a liar. Don't call me a liar.
Oh, that's
I'm too honest and straightforward to be called a liar, and that's not even a cuss word. You know what I'm saying? So it's to each his own, of what to what they like to hear and what they don't like to hear, and that's what I was saying. It's basically, it's a form of control. And you really lost your freedom of speech, and it's a loss. You done lost control, and it's just a control tactic of what you say and how you say it, when you say it, who you say it to. Because I can't go in the courthouse and tell the judge, whatever I want to say because it's on my mind. That's control. So regardless if people want to say it's common and it's respect, it depends on who's talking, who you talking to, and who's doing the talking. Because if I'm talking to one of my girls and they call me a bitch, which I don't have friends that talk like that, but girls do say that to each other. But then if a dude say it, it's wrong. It can't be wrong. Just like people run around here saying, and how
they say it though too. How you say it too?
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. Let's just use the word nigga. That's just the biggest controversial word of all. Some people can say it, some people can't. I don't care it's a race that we say we don't want the white people saying it at all. I don't care if they say nigga. I don't care like that. There was one video where the student had said the teacher said to The student nigga, and I thought that was hilarious. Even Boondocks had a whole episode about it. But I thought it was hilarious because he didn't mean it like that. He was trying to be cool, but you take offense because it was a white dude saying it. Now, I even want to go back to that. I talked to a guy, he said, this is what he said, and I'm going to look this up, so this is something that everybody else can look up. He said the Nigger isn't bad, okay? The root or where it stems off of, which is Niger, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't mean anything bad. It's we've made it bad because that's what we've heard, and it's turned into a bad word. Nigga, what we call each other is negative. Nigga is not. But we use the negative term.
That goes back to my point. And watch this. Sister Hakma just said something that made my point too. She made my point too. Now the nigga goes back to what I say who was oppressed. I don't want to be called that. I'm not gonna call nobody that. But going back to what she said, watch this. Now, see, the liar is probably one of the worst words, period, because of the definition. That goes back to the definitions I'm trying to say, the etymology. And it's the one thing the Most High hates. Now, that's talking about, and watch this, you can say what you want to say in the courtroom. It's just the words. I agree with what she's saying, with the control in the sense, but I think that the only disagreement I have with her on this is you actually can say what you want to say. It's just it goes back to Yosef. Yosef said something profound too, and mercy, articulation. A lot of people are not well learned in speech or in intellect, so they don't. So sometimes a lot of people that use profanity so much like that. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time. Some people just like to use it, and that's fine. It's because they can't articulate words or they don't have a certain intellect level in words. So you can say whatever you want to say in a courtroom, but when you result down to what's looked at as profanity or whatever, then they're going to hold you down. Just like your kids. Your kids can say what they want to say if they articulate their words, right? But when they say something out of pocket, you're going to be like, hold on now. I need you to calm down and think what you're going to say first. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a control tactic from that standpoint. I think it's more so like, hey, you can say what you want, but it is guidelines. Like liar. Don't call me no liar when I know for a fact I'm trying my hardest to be truthful. I'm pressing. I'm honest. Like Sister Hakma said, I'm honest. You calling me a liar? That's not true. Now, maybe I got something wrong that I didn't pay attention to or something, but, hey, I know for a fact. You know what I'm saying? So that's my point. It goes back to yourself. I think we all just, in a sense, collectively said some good things that, made the point more, you know what I'm trying to say, y'all? I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense. I want to put my question out there before you bring Brother Mercy in. Brother Mercy, wait.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Brother Mercy, I want you to say what you want to say, and then I want you to be the person to actually kick off my question so we can kind of roll into that if possible. So my question is, and it's basically, okay, here we are. We've been reading the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Let's I'm going to take a step back from the literary and what we read, and I'm going to take a step into the spiritual. What is it, and I've been wanting to have this topic for a while, I guess. What is it that you yourself have experienced as a manifestation of the Most High? Not what somebody told you. I mean, if you got to go to that, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Because especially if you believe it, you was just fully convinced, and then nothing else nobody can say to you or whatever, I can kind of believe it. But it's easier for me to believe somebody that I'm talking to than for me to believe, somebody that somebody else talked to that possibly talked to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Unless you might have saw something, even you seeing it. It didn't have to be that he did it to or through you, but you saw it and you like, wow, that was amazing. Some things that you saw that was, I don't want to say miraculous, but yeah, I could say miraculous, or just a manifestation of a highest power. That's what I want to say. I do want to hear from, anybody that's called and everything. Of course, the panel members, Sister Agma, I'm going to speak on it, But I do want to hear things that you've dealt with personally, or seen, witnessed, whatever, that how the Most High has dealt with you. And then here's the second part. Maybe some things that you are in question about, that you just don't know if you sold on that part, that type of deal, which is a harder subject because I'm not asking you to question the Most High, but what it does is, somebody else might be on the line and say, "No, that's happened to me." And you know what I'm saying? And they give you an example. So now you have something in your repertoire to say, "You know what? Now I've heard somebody say that." Or I've heard two people say that. Maybe the first person, you just couldn't trust them. Because we come out of the Sunday churches, majority of us, and we've gotten so much into this, to what the books say, and I love that. Sometimes we kind of veer away from that part, and sometimes we just don't know now we don't know what to think about it. Now we don't know where to go with it. Like, is it any spirituality in it? That starts to become questions to some people. So I want to get some of this stuff out on the table. I want to, see how the Most High dealt with you, whether or not it's the Sunday church, whether or not it's when you got out of the Sunday church, whether or not it's how you got out. I don't care. I don't know bounds on it. So that's my questions. Stuff that he dealt with you, maybe even something that you question, or even if you questioned it after you came out of your out of the truth or something, whatever it is, and then we'll just roll around like that. And I'm not gonna force nobody to talk, but I would love to hear from everybody that's on the line at least one thing, or even if you say I don't have anything, or at least what you question. And you say I question it all, that's fine. So that's my question, and that's kind of where I wanted to go. So, Brother Mercy, you first. I want you to say what you got to say first, and then you can go to my question.
First of all, I would like to say that words in and themselves is not bad. It's how they have been used throughout history. Like the N-word was used to keep our people back. See, that's the part that people are missing. And see, this is what the white man does constantly. He tell you can't use the word, but he used the word to keep us down. But see, now we don't understand why the word is bad, because we don't understand the original context of which it was used. See, that's a deep thing that a lot of people don't understand. See, now you talking about, why can't I call it the N? Well, because back there was a time where all the white man had to call you is that word, and you out picking cotton. Niggas got there picking my cotton, So, I mean, see what I'm saying? So I think that to keep from using those curse words is a sign of our education, because also we were not allowed to be educated. So they kept us from being educated. But then after a while, we started getting educated. And as I broadened my vocabulary, I've learned that I don't have to use curse words because I have my vocabulary is more extensive. So so a lot of people today, they curse. Our young people today, they curse. They curse because they don't have a proper education. They don't have an appropriate education. And I know this because I'm in the classroom, so I know this. They curse all up and down. They curse all up and down like sailors every day, all the time. And so I tried to tell them and instill to them that the reason why you're not properly educated, because you can't even complete a sentence to get you that high-paying job. See, that's where it's hurting you at. It's hurting you when it comes to employment. It hurts you when it comes to running for a political office. It hurts you. And this is where we're hurting at. Let's just call it what it is. It hurts us economically. You need economic vocabulary to match your economics. If you don't have economic conversations, then you're not going to have no economics. I mean, people with economics talk a certain way. Let's just call it what it is. I'm not saying they don't talk a different way when they're at home, but when they conduct the business, they talk a certain way. And if you don't know those words, and if you can't read a contract, which has those words in it that you're about to sign away your life on that contract, if you don't understand what the words mean, then they can take advantage and manipulate you. So my point is this. It all falls back to education. Can you not use these words? Yes, you can if your vocabulary is extensive. But there was a time where the white man just called you a certain name. Oh, then let's deal with the B word. Like, for example, it wasn't just the B word. They treated you like a garden tool. Let's call it what it is. It's not just they called you a garden tool. That's what we do today. We call each other garden tools. But see, back then, they treated our women like garden tools. See, that's the part we forgetting. We were treated a certain way. Man, you know what they did? Man, they treated us worse than animals. You know, they kept us on shit.
That is true.
I mean, so when they use these words to treat us that way. The reason why we don't see these words as bad is because we don't treat people like the white man treat us. That's why we don't understand why it's so bad. So when you say my nigga, you ain't put him on no slave ship. You know, you ain't.
I mean, you're right about the etymology of some of these words.
You don't understand.
The etymology of some of these words, we might not even say them if we actually knew what they meant. Real. Some of them, how they actually started rolling around. A lot of these derogatory terms was against a certain group of people. A lot of, not all of them, but some of these was, saying describe us. Man, yeah. So I ain't gonna go into all that, but I know of a couple. That's all.
And then Shamar talking about him.
Not the other stuff, but I don't know.
And then Shamar talking about he don't want people calling him nice. Now, see, that's another thing. Shamar talking about, I want you calling me nice, because he knows the etymology of that. So, he really knew. See, I thought if I said Shamar's a nice guy, I was giving the man a compliment. But he's taking it a different way. He's like, nah, man, I know what that word nice means.
Right, the etymology is nice means that you're an idiot. That you just don't know what's going on.
So go into your intellect box, Ak. give me another word. Give me another synonym or whatever. I need you to go and open that intellect box.
Smart's a good guy.
He's a good guy. There you go.
I'll take that.
So we don't want to
people just say, man, you going too far. Right, and you won't. The reason I do that, man, I try to actually challenge people to look into this stuff because, you're not going to offend me, but when I learn something, I want to apply it. I would never call yourself nice again because now I know what it means. I'm not going what it originally meant. I'm not going to do that because, and then it opens the door for people to be like, you know what, let me start looking into words. I've had 3 people do that so far. Some people say, man, I don't care about that. Look, the one person that told me he don't care about it. Now he doing it at my job. Anytime he hears somebody say nice, he look at me and he start laughing. I swear he took it to his mom a teacher and everything, and they was wild from it. You know what I'm saying? And it just opens the door. So go ahead, Mercy, addressing those questions.
Addressing your question, Yosef, I've had history. Well, I'll just say this. The Most High has been very merciful in my life throughout the years. And I've just been thinking about his goodness as far as, I've had speech impediments. That's why I'm surprised I'm a teacher because speaking is not my strong point. So, so the thing is, the Most High has used my weakness to pay my bills. And that really surprises me because I really hated speaking in front of people, for many, many years. Now this is what I do every day. So, that's one thing he showed me. He's used my weakness to
I can't even believe that. Brother Mercy said he didn't even like speaking in front of people. Brother Mercy talks in third person. That man loves speaking in front of people now. Look at the Most High.
And I have a speech impediment, and my speaking is not very good. So my thing is, I just thank the Most High because he helped me there. Now, what I have a question about is the afterlife. I really believe. Okay, I'm gonna say it this way, so y'all don't, take me the wrong way.
No, I ain't gonna take you the wrong way. Go ahead with it, man. I ain't gonna die. I'm the last person to take you the wrong way, bro. You can say whatever to me. I can't take nothing the wrong way. Where I'm at in my life right now, you don't even understand. Go ahead with your question, because it might be mine too.
I really believe that it doesn't mean what we've been taught it means. I believe it meant in the context of Torah. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I believe in heaven and hell, but they didn't talk about that in Torah. So, I believe the afterlife.
This dude open up worms, bro. Hey, man, put them worms back in the can, man. Put the worms back in the can. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you. Because this one open conversation.
Different. I believe it meant something different. I believe it means exactly what it says, afterlife. Like, for example, if I didn't have any children, which I don't, Brother Mercy don't have any children. So what comes after Brother Mercy if he has no kids? I believe the afterlife meant to Torah observers to produce children, because that was the first commandment that Yahweh gave, was to be fruitful and multiply. But Abraham had a problem having children. So the afterlife to him meant to have children. So I believe that's what that means, that we will exist after we die. You know, there'll be a piece of me here after I'm gone. So that's what I believe the afterlife means. But that's just my take. That's my question. So I don't know.
Golly. Mercy, you come back like this? This is what you gonna come back and talk about?
Wait, what did he say? I just missed it, y'all. I'm sorry. What did he say to make you say that? I just missed it.
He said, okay, he don't feel like the afterlife. I'm gonna sum it up. He feels like he don't know. He doesn't know. So his question is basically, about the afterlife or whatever, but he feels like the afterlife is not what people think it is, as far as like, the heaven and hell. He said he believes in heaven and hell, but he don't think that what he's talking about as far as the afterlife is like what we think. He think it's your seed. You know what I'm saying? Your kids living and through on and through on and through. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's afterlife. So that's actually real good. Because
that's something deep.
I got a what you call it, right? I got a couple text messages right there. I'm not gonna unless they want me to say who it was, but they said through your DNA and through your memories, you live on. You live on through your memories, and like we talk about, we talk about right now. Isaiah is one of the most talked about prophets out there. Hands down.
Yep.
Hands down. We got a book. We talk about him. We're in him right now. One of the most chapters out there, except for Psalms. David is up there too. I'm talking about David is, as far as kings, everybody just talk about David. As far as prophets, majority of people talk about. I hear about Jeremiah. I hear about Ezekiel. I got stuff in there, you know what I'm saying, that I used to like reading and stuff like that. And both of those, I can't wait to get to them again. But I promise you, I focus more heavily on Isaiah. Growing up, I've heard more Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? But that prophet.
Hey, I'm bringing your dead Yah in, man. He just came. he said, Mercy,
he said, don't let him in.
Don't let him in. He just told me. Yeah, 137.
He did hit me up say
I might want to come in now.
Oh, if he want to come in, let him in. That was a minute ago, though. He said he was going to get over.
He just told me that now. He said that was a good one. Mercy just said, I'm going to bring him in, and then he could get out if he
I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to get out. That's what Hawkman said about the memory, so I was just elaborating on that. And then what I was about to say was, man, but that's what we've been talking about. We've been talking about David in this little covenant, and this thing rolling on from kids to kids was the most important thing. To have a seed to take over, right? To take over the covenant from David, and we got the Abrahamic covenant and all of that stuff. Everything was about having a child. They knew that also. You dig what I'm saying? And that might have been one of the reasons why David, when that first baby, he was sick. He was sick because that was his first child, and he was going to sit on the throne. Solomon ended up sitting on the throne. Solomon had no blood on his hands. It's reasons. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going through all that. But like Mercy always say, that seed thing. Mercy just said it. So, yeah, that's what I'm. Let me go on my thoughts. At this point, I don't know. I ain't read about it yet. And this is the reset button. So when I said reset, like, it took me a while. It took me a while. What I mean by that is I reset everything I knew prior. Like, literally, I ain't reset as I got here. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain buttons got pushed along the way into a certain point where I just pushed the big button, bang, and everything. Jedediah said that before me, and I didn't understand it. He said that a long time ago, but then it's something that happened in my life. I can't even remember what it was. I can't. Well, yeah, I think I can. I'm not going to say it on the show. But something happened in my life. I said, you know what? I don't know nothing. And before that, I said, I put a post up. Before that came, I said, I'm finding out that I know less than I know nothing. I know less than I thought I knew. So at this point, I ain't read about it. So I ain't got no thoughts on it. And as I go back in my memory banks, I try to go back. I can't even really remember everything about it now no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't read beyond. I really haven't really read beyond what we read in a long time. Because that's how serious I am about trying to figure out this thing, man. I'm not even trying to dilute my head. So, but as far as my thoughts right now, nope, I don't know. And I'm been leaning towards that already. So I don't know, and I can't comment anymore.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, you got the flow. When I say I can't comment anymore on it, I just ain't got, you know. So
yeah, that's why I just said. I just came in. Yeah, that was deep, man. Both Mercy and the comment that Chakma had as well, man. That, whew. But then it just makes you think, like man, like what? Y'all got me thinking. I'm sitting here leaning back on the chair, like, what's after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you just got your mind. Your wheels turning.
It's a possibility that it's a possibility you sleep. And to be honest with you, man, it's probably the best thing for us. Maybe you ain't got no memory sleep. You might dream. I don't know. But sleep don't sound like a bad idea after all like running I do in my life. I've been chasing sleep for a long time. And I never seem to get enough.
Right.
I get enough, I refresh a little bit. But, man, when you real tired, you want to go to bed, ain't nothing wrong with some sleep. When you really got to sleep, that's why when the older folks, they go, they be like, man, it's my time. I'm tired. They spirit just tired. Give up. I got to go to bed.
You know what?
You're right.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I heard that a couple times, and I saw them movies.
Man, but for real, they can't fight no more. That's for the older ones that just, you know what I mean, for the longer they go. I ain't talking about nothing quick and happening, you know what I mean? But I've been thinking like it might not be nothing after this, but I want to live the right life for right now. Heaven and hell could be the condition that we in right now. We can live our heaven right here, or we can live our hell going through hell all through earth. Because I tell you something, I've been through some hell on earth. And to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the physical pain that you go through ain't as bad as some mental anguish that you go through. Mental anguish, mental hell is worse than physical pain. Because the physical,
go ahead and preach, bro.
It's crazy. I'm just saying, Joe. I'm just saying, like, if you're going through something in your own head, bro, that's hell.
That's the worst place.
And you cannot stop thinking about it. Like, my version of hell wasn't even burning for a long time. I thought we went to some judgment. Don't get it twisted. But I thought that I was going to keep running the same stupid maze and not figuring that stupid thing out. And guess what? People go through that right now. It's like they're in a maze. You see people, they go through the same thing over and over. You're like, what's going on in their life? They going through hell. Always losing the same thing, always losing the same, you know what I'm saying, going through the same thing with the women that they go through, or the men that they go through, or child things you keep repeating, relationships with whatever, your parents, whatever. You go through hell. Jobs, keep losing them. You be like, what's wrong with them?
Yeah.
Man, they got to get right with the Most High because they going through hell. Ain't no prayer finna take them out of that. He got to forgive you, yo. It's like a rap. You got to go back to the Most High because I can't help that. So I ain't even gonna go too deep. Cause I could talk about this.
Bro, I've
been on some whole other stuff, man. That's what I'm saying. If I can't even release my whole brain, man. I'm on some whole other stuff. But we gonna keep it pushing because a lot of people. I want to hear from everybody. So what I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop talking because we ain't got all day. I do want to hear from everybody.
That's what
I do want to say what I gotta say.
I want to, if you allow, since you said what you just said, it kind of goes into my points. I want to go ahead and get mine out the way now because I don't want to backtrack. So I just say the disbelief part, which is really not a disbelief. It was just kind of like, man, and it goes into what the last part you were saying as far as continuing to go through certain things. You know, sometimes we have moments, and you're going to hear some on the EP I'm releasing Sunday, by the way, y'all, just so y'all know who listening in. I had to say that. But I brought some of that out in there. It's like I had my, who was it? We're not even there yet, but off my memory, I think it's Jeremiah. I had my Jeremiah moment. And it's kind of like when you feel or you believe, I'm not going to say feel, but you believe that you're operating properly, operating right, whatever you believe that to be as a good person, and then you have stuff that continues to happen. Like, why? Like, what are you got to be, are you doing something wrong, or are you having a Jeremiah moment? You know what I'm saying? And you stuck in that mental state of what you're speaking of, like, your hit, that's your, my daughter around, so I don't want her saying that, but what the, the Hades, ain't Hades, but you in that mental state over and over. I've been in there for five last.
You can't even use that word because you're the auto around. Look, we're going back to the language thing.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with the word hell, but you can't even say it right there.
Right. Right. I had to explain to her concept.
Because literally, if she goes through church or something, she's going to hear hell.
Right.
But so we was told that was a bad word, but it's in the Bible.
Right.
But go ahead, man.
I agree with it.
My bad. It just brought it back to language. That's crazy.
Right. I like I said, I agree with it, but I think everything still needs to be taught what context is. So I wouldn't tell her not to say that because there's nothing wrong with it contextually, in my opinion, context-wise. I couldn't have her going to school saying that mess. I don't need to be getting no calls home and all that stuff, whatever.
Man.
But I'm just piggybacking off what you're saying, though, man. It makes you like, man, God, like, Elohim, like, are you there sometimes? Like, I had a whole period, like that, having that moment. So that's the flip side of your question for me. And it takes confirmations sometimes and it shouldn't, we got the belief, we believe, but it's just like, man, when them things is continuing to happen sometimes, it's just, you're in that Jeremiah state. And correct me if I'm wrong, if it's not Jeremiah, somebody tell me. But the positive is I've had situations to where I should have been dead, literally. And there's no way possible to explain, like, dude, how you lead. I'll tell you one moment. I was a teenager, and we on the expressway, and this actually goes into. It's gonna be weird, y'all. Not really, probably, maybe. This goes into like a lot of things that the Most High helped me to realize that He is true. Is a lot of confirmations happens with me. Like a lot of things that I say happen or is going to happen actually happens. Not on no prophet type stuff. I always make sure I say that. But a lot of things that has taken place, even in my last relationship, even in friendships that I dealt with, when people was, asking questions and I might have said something, and then they come back and say, dude, the same thing you just said. A lot of that stuff happened, right? And when I was a teenager, we on the expressway, and I don't understand it, some bees, yourself good at this, so I'm just going to tell him. Some bees hit the windshield as we're driving, a whole swarm of bees. And I'm like, man, something bad is about to happen. They looking at me like I'm crazy. Somebody driving we got 4 people in the car. I'm in the back seat, my cousin on the left side of me, and my uncle and his girlfriend at the time. Right after those bees hit, not even, 40 seconds to 2 minutes later, a car battery. I don't know what the heck a car battery came from, but a car battery hit the same spot where the bees hit, the windshield, the front window. Bust the window, and we spent around. I didn't have no seatbelt on or nothing. We spent around at least 4 or 5 times on the expressway, and then guess what happened? The car actually parked on the where the median at, where you could pull over. Well, actually, yeah, you could pull over out where we was at. I don't know what city we was in, but it was like a little slot where you could pull over at, but it was on the left-hand side, and we just stopped right there. It parked perfectly. I know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like stuff like that. It's like, might be small to those listening, like, dude, that could happen to anybody. But for me, that was like, man, it ain't nothing but the Most High. And then for us to be
I don't know,
right after I said
happen to anybody. Come on now, for real, anybody? I have never seen nothing like that. So that ain't like that's nothing.
Special there.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Don't say like that's something nothing. I mean, I was like, that's like a movie or something, because that ain't never happened in my life.
Bro, I lie to you not. I felt like it when I think back on it and talk to y'all about it now. It sounds exactly like a movie, but I lie to you not, man. We can make a call when we get off this, and you can call my uncle. He'll tell you the same story. And I literally was like, man, that ain't right. Something about why is the bees hitting this? Something about to happen. Oh man, you silly man, shut up. Blah blah blah. Next thing we know, not even 2 minutes later or so, dude, a battery just hit the window, the front window, that we spent around at least 4 or 5 times on the expressway. And I'm quiet. And once we get off, once we stop, I'm chilling because I'm like, okay, family is behind us. We went on a trip or something, a family trip. I don't even know. It was so long ago. I don't even remember where we went. But I didn't start crying or nothing like that until I saw my mom and then pass us on the expressway. I'm like, no, come back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that was an interesting story. Interesting time. That's all I got.
That's your thing. And
did
you have some things that you wonder about? That's a good thing. I'm saying, did you see something miraculous? So, and is there anything that you wondered about?
The wondering about was I spoke about the second part, the first. It was kind of like, it was piggybacking off what you was talking about. Like, Oh,
okay. You wondered the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you was piggybacking and you had something else. My bad.
No, that was.
So you answered. You answered my question and gave you your thing. Man, for real, that's a story that I got. I'm gonna tell somebody. Let me tell you. I like telling some stories. People ain't gonna believe me, bro. But hey,
I promise it don't sound believable. It sound like
it might bless.
Made it up.
It might bless somebody. You know what I'm saying? Whoever. I was like, man, look, most I can do anything. I gotta tell you. I call them right now. I Marco Polo.
Right.
Tell her. To my man, tell him the story. I ain't even finna talk to him. Tell him the story. You know what I'm saying? And then, I'm stupid. Anyway. Okay, do we have anybody in the queue, though? About the,
we got Mercy, I think, back in the queue. We got Mercy back in the queue. I know you wanted to ask other people. I don't know if people are listening if they want it.
And that was, then I wanted to say something about that. you got to remember also, you know what I'm saying, Moses had a problem with the speech. So he got a story like Moses, and he ain't need no Aaron.
Yep.
The Most High fixed his speech and his fear. You know what I mean? Same thing happened to Moses. Moses had a fear. He was like, man, I can't speak. He said, man, don't I fix and work the tongue? So Mercy has a instance like that. Only thing I kept thinking about with the Shema thing, man, he was getting you off the road because something else was down there that you really ain't need to go to. The first thing warned you, like the bees was like, man, what was that? You know what I'm saying? It might, now I got a whole battery. Come on now, battery. He had to get somebody. He had to get off the
battery,
get off this road. Get off this road. I had to go. Like,
it was a battery on that expressway.
Yeah, that's. But I'm saying the cold thing about it is you just didn't see what happened. So I'm not the one to think that a battery just came out of heaven. You young, so somebody's car blew up. You know, blew somebody's car up the street perfectly, so the battery can hit your windshield. He just used something.
It's crazy.
You just ain't gonna see. He made sure anybody saw it like that. But there's so many things that happen that people just don't see. For real. I've seen videos of stuff that just happened. You be like, man, that little baby should have been dead. That person, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it ain't like I believe it totally. You ain't finna let something happen to you if it ain't your time. And sometimes other things, you just don't know. Like, I'm just giving a little piece. There's so much other stuff that's intricate to that. But we've seen miraculous stuff in the Word already. So to say anything is foolish would be foolish. That means you don't believe in the Word. So don't downplay anything you know what I'm saying, you say. And that go for anybody else. Don't downplay it. Yeah, Shemaiah's thing was bigger than what he thought. And it was amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? So if we believe in the miracles of the Bible, you like, okay, Shemaiah ain't got no reason to lie. We up here just chopping it up. Boom. This is what he say. So that's a testimony, right? So that's why I say, that's why I want to hear from people, because everybody got something. Man, it's time to hear some of this stuff.
There you go, y'all. Press 1. Get in the queue.
Hey, look.
And
I'm sorry, I took over a little bit, only probably because this was my question. But if anybody listening online, 516-595-8238, because we're going to go. Is it time? Yeah, I think we're going to go into the overtime portion in like 2 minutes. So, yeah, press 1. I mean, call in, press 1. I want to hear from some people. And I know I ain't even looked on. Let me look on that.
This is what we gonna do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna bring Mercy in because he's in the queue, I believe. And while he's in, brother Philip, I see you still. I mean, if you have anything, man, please press 1. We would love to hear it, and then hear your second part of the question answered that Yosef asked. Same thing with Sister Hakma. Maybe you could do the same. So you have time. You all have time. I think if Mercy speaks, you'll definitely have some time to think about what could possibly be a miracle thing that took place for you, perhaps, and then what is something that, you struggle with, All right, so Mercy, I'm bringing you in. I think you're in the queue. Well, I see you, but I don't know if you took yourself out, so here we go. You are live.
Yeah, thank you, brothers. I wanted to go to Psalms 139, to put this heaven and hell thing to rest, because I like David's take on it. I love David's take on it. Start at verse 6. He said, your infinite knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high above me. I cannot reach it. He says his knowledge is too wonderful for him. And see, people claim they got knowledge. They got the Most High's knowledge. But according to David, the Most High's knowledge is far above him, and he cannot grasp it. Then verse 7, where could I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? And I love verse 8. If I ascend up into heaven, you are there. Listen to the second part. But if I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. And he's talking about, now he said make his bed. I mean, he's getting comfortable. I mean, when you think about a bed is comfortable. He has comfort in his low places. I mean, that's the point you got to get to, where you could be in hell, but you got a bed. You know, bed is comfort. It's for comfort. And I love you gave a trick on this, because you could be in a bad spot. You could be in a bad spot, but the Most High can provide comfort for you when you're in that bad spot. I had people tell me, "Go to hell, Mercy," and I just make my bed in it, and get comfortable. Because I've learned that even in my low points, the Most High is there, and He makes my life comfortable. And I think once we get to that point, and we've been in a lot of low points. Let's face it, our people have already suffered the low points. So now I say, now it's time to experience some of the higher points. That's just what Brother Mercy believes. I believe that our people.
I believe that too. Brother Mercy is some things today, but I'll say some more stuff. I'm gonna say something in caveat to that, but I do believe it's time for us to see some high points, man. Real, but it's contingencies on these curses, man. This is some of the curses too, man. This is gonna burn. So that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody can't say they claim some of this stuff. Them curses, I know a lot of people might not subscribe to them, but if you read them, you be like, yes, that hurts. You know what it feels like. That's cold though. People be hidden in jail cells. Well, you like, well, it's like, but who knows when in that time frame when it happens. Woo woo. But the thing about it is, all the people that claim that they are of this nation, well, we see why they didn't got it before. History repeat itself. Okay, you see how they got out of it. Okay, so, and I'm talking about, and it even show you in the king's life when he didn't know nothing even about it. They found it. Blow the dust off of it. Had to read it to him. He was sick. So I'm saying, like, that's what I don't understand. Like, you got people out here really feeling like they ain't got to do this. At least try. It's time to see some of them high points, but it's only one way to see them. And
David says,
that's a vein. That's a sweet one for me, though.
David says, in one translation, David says, if I climb up into the heavens. He said, if I climb. You remember Jacob's ladder?
But you gotta understand too, poetic language too. I mean, we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about the word. Yeah, we talking about Psalms. Psalms. There's a lot of poetry up in there.
Oh, it's poetic, brother. It's poetic. But at the same time, you got to climb out of this situation, okay? We got to climb out, okay? We're gonna have to climb out.
Nothing. Hey, there's some of us trying, man. We trying. But man, the people we talking to is some stubborn people. The Bible says it. These are man. Believe me, I see it all the time. Facebook, man, I had you depressed.
Yeah, but man, let me tell you, Jacob saw a ladder into heaven, and he saw angels ascending and descending on it. So I'm just telling you what he saw. I'm just saying he saw a ladder, brothers. And David talks about climbing. So, hey, can we put that stuff together?
I mean, I don't know, man. You know, you try to. I mean, we gonna see as we get this. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to make too many assumptions, and I also want to say something also because I don't want people to get discouraged either. I want because it's something that you said. We can all go through bad situations and not be in hell. Okay. But it's one thing to be in a bad situation, and it's another thing to always be in one. And it's another thing that's all you know. You know what I'm saying? As your adult life or something like that. I mean, it's two different things. And there's some people out there that feel like that. And it's another thing to keep going through the same thing. And that's another thing. At some point, we got to get some kind of level of achievement to figure something out if we don't go through the same maze. But that's on a more, I guess, I would say, psychological thing. But that's on a literal note. And I know people and seen people, and I've been in hell myself. Hell is even thinking that you got some type of victory out of this thing and keep running it over and over. I mean, like I say, as I look back on it, I'm like, man, that was hell. So, even how they used to use the term, back in the day.
Too, y'all.
Yeah,
so
but it's all, if Mercy done, I bring her in because I wanted to hear her stuff. Also.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just gonna climb out. That's all.
All right, thank you, Brother Mercy. and I appreciate your input for real. And Sister Hagma, I'm going to open your line and live.
Can I have that scripture from? That's not why I wanted to come in, but I wanted to go back to that scripture Mercy was speaking on. So he said it was Psalms 139 and what?
He started at 6.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm probably going to start at 138.
That's funny. But I'm going to say something about that first. But as far as what I think your question is, gifts and what you believe and don't believe as far as the scriptures goes, or what you don't believe as far as life goes.
Well, his was a big one, but it's just as far as okay, whatever you've seen or experienced from the Most High, you got that part. Because what I'm saying, and it could be personal or something that you might have seen, or maybe even something that you believe. Whatever you got, you know what I'm saying. But if you have a personal experience, start there. That's what I'm saying, and then work your way out. Okay, you did. If you go all the way out to your grandma's, I mean, that's cool too. You can keep it rolling.
Okay.
But and what is a gift that you might question about or might not believe? That you might, you know what I'm saying? Like you be like, I don't know about that. Like I'm more so. You know, as we came out of this, we come more into the truth. I maybe me personally, I was like, man, at first, a lot of stuff could put into question. You know what I'm saying? But I know what I've experienced personally. And, you know, like I'll just say, for example, like some people in their belief don't believe it's prophets of the day, period. You know what I'm saying? So that might be one of them. Let's just say, well, I believed in them, but I don't believe this happens anymore. I believe in miracles. I don't believe they happen anymore. Or I'm questioning whether they happen in this generation. I'm just giving examples. Like that's because I don't want nobody to feel like they can't say anything. All right?
Well, I don't have any.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm at the point where, and I know you probably like, you just saying this stuff in the scriptures. I'm at a point now, and I'm just at a place right now where I don't know. Far as miracles and, you know, and gifts and have I heard about them? I've heard about them. My mom told me her stories. I'm just at a place where I don't know, y'all. That's all I can say is like who really. I guess it depends on who you giving the glory to. That's who did it. How about that? Because that's just where I'm at on that. But as far as the big thing is heaven and hell, that's huge to believe in, because that was one reason why I wanted to be this walking robot, as you would say, is because I didn't want to go to hell. And but now that I'm older, I'm fine with just dying, y'all. I'm just fine with death. Because now you know how it works. Your brain just shut off and you're gone. I'm fine with that now. Heaven and hell right now is on earth. It's all in your mind. It's all of a mindset. It's all is as far as heaven opening up doors and how you think and going higher is where you want to go, where you want to be at. Some people is fine where they at, and that's heaven for them. And if they lost, I'm just giving some very plain, but if they lost a tooth, that's hell for them. So heaven and hell is for each individual person as far as how their mindset goes. Like Brother Mercy made a comment saying, not a comment, he read the scripture where he said, lying in the bed, he made his bed in hell. And he said, but he was comfortable there. Bed is comfortable. Bed is not always comfortable. It depends on whose bed you in, what kind of bed you in. You know what I'm saying? So, So bed is not always comfortable. It's not always. I mean, yeah, it's like I made this. I'm in hell in this bed that I made, and I'm uncomfortable here. But you know what, Father, you're here with me. I'll give you an example. I have a bed that I need a firm bed because of my back. But my husband be like, man, we need a softer bed. So it's like, it's not always, so I think heaven and hell is all a mindset. And like Brother Mercy said, he was climbing up the ladder. He's climbing up higher. He wants to go higher, and wherever he's going higher at, he's going up the ladder, and that's going to be heaven for him. I'm starting to just come to believe that it's not a place that we're going when we pass away. It's just where we at right now. And the one good thing is that we are learning the Hebrew, and you guys learn way more than me do. But that's heaven, you guys. That's opening up doors. That's opening up your mind. It's giving you a different vision. That's heaven right there. And you climbing higher. And you going higher, and then Sister Hakma, I'm just going to say, you climbing higher than Sister Hakma because your mind is opening up and you're seeing things. And so as far as miracles and gifts, I'm at the I don't know. And have I heard about some? Yes, Joseph yourself might even say, Kisha, you have some yourself. And if I do, charge it to my head and not my heart because I forget a whole bunch of stuff. But I've heard stories from my mom. I have a great-grandfather who had the gift of healing, and just tell you the stories, okay, if I didn't know him. And he had the gift of healing, and back in those days, black people wasn't able to go around white people, but the white men used to use my grandpa to come heal people. They used to fly him places to heal people, my great-grandfather. I wasn't there, so all I can tell you is a story, they're the stories that I know. For instance, I believe healing is in my family. The gift of healing is in my family because that was my great-grandfather. And I'm going to tell you about my grandfather. My Aunt Dal, okay, my Aunt Dal had died, okay. You know how back in the day. She had died, and he was at work, okay, and she died in the bed. She was a little baby. I think she was like 9 months or something. And I might get the names mixed up, but my grandmother was like, don't touch her until Dad gets here. Like, they didn't want to take her to the doctor, the hospital. She was like, no, nobody moves until he's there. That's how their family just worked. And when he got there, he laid hands on her and brought her back to life. And she lived until she was like 40, 50 years old. I wasn't there. I can just tell you the stories that I heard. And so other people were like, I don't believe that. Hey, I wasn't there either, so all I can do is just pass you on the story. My mom has broken her jaw, her ankle, her leg, and she walked, she talked, she had 2 strokes, and they said she would never walk again. She was in the hospital. She said she had laid hands on herself and said the God she served is not going to leave her bedridden. She walks up out the hospital. Those are miracles. I'm telling you about my mom. Guess what? I wasn't there. So all I can tell you is stories that I know. So I'm one of those people that you'll tell me a story, God is able, yeah, but I'm one of those, I want to see it too. So, and I have not literally seen any miracles as far as the gift of healing, speaking in tongues, I will say that's a gift. That's a gift that the Father has given me. And some people don't believe in it. That's on them. But I know one thing. I told someone that I knew it was a different language, and I didn't know what that language was. But now, you guys, when I hear y'all speaking Hebrew, that is what I used to hear. That is a whole different language. It's a pure language. It's a beautiful language. And people who don't understand it just think it's just another language like Spanish or English, but that's the Father's language. It's totally different. So I'm sorry for rambling, God. I love y'all, but that's where I'm at with my gifts and healing and what I believe and I don't believe. And I hope Joseph got what he needed. Bye.
Yeah, so that's some healing. That's and we remember. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? Know that did he do it? And it's a different stuff. But how about this? I know some kids should. I'm gonna say something about you personally. Man, this girl had a vision. Her child was gonna choke on some candy, and what happened? It was the next day, same candy. Choked on.
Hey, did you say something?
I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was like a gift. He was telling you.
I mean,
guys,
it was something that he showed you.
Yeah, he did. One day I was driving in my car. Actually, I seen it. I seen me driving in my car. My son was in the back seat in his high chair. He was choking on a piece of candy, and I pulled over and I got the candy out of his mouth. This is what I seen. Then the next day, it happened. And
there you go.
Yeah, and like I said, something like
hold on. I'm finna probably expose her real quick. She didn't exposed.
I just got excited.
Hold on, wait a minute. I forgot. I thought about something. You told me something about 9/11 too, so you could bring that out too.
Those are so okay. 9/11.
I was little to you.
Those are little to me because God, and please, Father, anything that you show me and give me is not little. It's just that I forget. How about that? Because he did show me 9/11 the day before it happened, and I seen that in a dream, and then it was crazy when I woke up. It had happened. So he speaks to me, he do speak to me in vision and dreams. He does. Where he been at lately? I'm like you, Shema. Where are you? Where are you? So
I'm telling you, man.
I'm like, where are you?
Or
it's like, where am I? Because he's there. It's like, where are you? Is what I need to be asking myself. Where am I? What am I doing wrong? Where am I in error? Where am I not in tune? But of course, you know how we like to do. We like to point the finger. Where are you, Father? When it's actually, where am I? So I just got that epiphany. So.
And I want to encourage on that. I want to comment on what she just said real quick. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. The candy. I think you had a question about the candy. And to this day, I don't like kids to suck on sucking candy. Like, you know how what's those candy? Like the little orange candy. Any kind of sucking candy. I'm like, give me the candy. You can't suck it. And my Isaiah is 15 years old. Do you hear me? And I still tell him, take that out your mouth. Because I see things before you see things. So, but go ahead, Shema.
No, I wanted to encourage that. I'm glad that you brought out. That's the first thing that we should do. We should ask, like, what are we doing? You know, but only thing I could do. Only thing I could do is go over stories, and then myself as well, on certain things. Sometimes things just have to happen to you. You look at the story of Job, you know, sometimes the things just happen to you. And even when we wondering, like, man, what the heck, you know, and you might be doing the things that's right. And he definitely is present and might be present right then and there, but it's still, it'd be a toll sometimes, you know, on us, man.
Yeah, but I don't know nobody that lost everything in one day. So, and then turn around and lose what? Let me come on now. Now, that's a bit extreme. Like, people be trying to compare their life to Job and ain't been through nothing like what Job went through, Like, that was like, okay, that had to come from the Most High. Point blank period. I'm telling you, I lose everything. You know, I was sitting in the barn, and lightning struck the barn, and all your animals dead. And come on, man. Like, everybody just died. Now you just alive. I'll be like, okay.
Well, no, you have seen that, though. We have seen that in a sense. Like the people in the Hurricane Katrina and stuff. People have lost everything in one day. So the story can be I'm not coming against you. I'm just saying, like. No,
I'm not saying that. I'm not going against that, no.
Yeah. The encouragement I was trying to give her wasn't, I wasn't trying to say, like, hey, you Job, because, hey, I ain't know what in the Job. You know what I'm saying? But I was just trying to say, like, I feel you on that. I'm just trying to say, like, sometimes we got to look, like, as far as, like, what she had said, like, what am I doing wrong? I was just trying to say, like, maybe you're not doing anything wrong. Maybe it just had to happen, and us being human, we'd be
that's a possibility, too.
Like, man, dude.
Some stuff just has to happen.
Goodness gracious.
But I'm going to tell you when you realize you've been in hell. When you look back and you 50, 60 years old, and you looking back and you like, what have I accomplished? And you can't think of nothing. So just
that ain't even funny.
It's not. But that's like, you wouldn't know that you're in hell right now. And not saying that you are. So that's a part of the whole real element. Because you don't know people to go through stuff. So if you knew you was in hell, you'd be trying to get out of it, you know what I'm saying? Any kind of way or whatever. What the hell about it is you don't know. You just going through thinking you finna make it out this maze. But all the ends are blocked off. So that means okay, I found that was the wrong way. I'm watching I got back here. You get back here, and then you take the other route, and same thing happens. But also things just do happen. I mean, everything is not hell. Okay, I want to say that too. I have times and trying times and everything like that. So that doesn't mean we did anything. I do want to reflect that. I don't. Also, because it's saying I don't want to bring up questions like that. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is true. I'm just saying that to me, I'm giving my opinion. And also, this is not every time you go through something. I'm not saying that at all. It's variables to everything, like Shema say. But regardless of the fact, I mean, I know what the blessings say. He said you're going to be plentiful and all this other stuff. Those are some great promises. And live greater than your fathers and not have to worry about nothing and not have to you know what I'm saying? That's good. Because they was going to be able to live right. That's heaven to me. When I think about how they had it and could have it, that's heaven to me. And I want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So that would be heaven on earth. To be like a community and, you know what I'm saying? Like, all following the Most High. Everybody. Y'all don't think that's heaven? That's how Israel should have been. They messed it up. And I'm trying to get there. Well, I guess. You know, I'm trying to at least direct at least my seed to see this. If I can't do it, if this generation can't do it, we drop the ball somewhere. At least I'm going to feel better when I have able to pass this ball on. And you are going to be better than I was. And that's all I can ask for at the end of the day if I don't see it. And my children see it. As long as we stay up in this Torah, somebody going to see it. It just might just not be me. That's where I'm at. And I'm not saying this is not nobody else's belief. It just might not be. I don't know what to believe, but I have to live this life for the Most High right now. And it ain't because I'm getting some kind of extra reward after death. It's a possibility that my fruit or somebody that came from me also, or at least my peoples, you know what I'm saying, regardless, was able to see what the Most High was trying to do in the end. Because that's the end. That's what I hear is peace. And I don't think that he, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he keeps talking about he don't forsake no covenant. So covenant is you do right, he's going to put you back in the land, and y'all going to live in peace. Shalom. So that's heaven to me. But it's a mindset. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm different culturally right now, because it's not, for me right now, it's not a singular thing. And I have to be all in. That's just what it is. I got to be all in as far as, because of what I believe in. Of course, this is what I believe in. I'm all in for this nation because this is what I see he believe in. And I see what he wanted to do. So, yeah, that's why I'll be about this, trying to point this stuff out. But by no means, my perception is nothing. No, you know what I'm saying? I just gave y'all a piece of my mind, and I don't want nobody to feel like, I'm telling you the way it is, because this is not from what the first thing I said was I haven't read in the scripture yet. So in my mind, this is how it is. So I want to reiterate the beginning, okay? Because I don't want nobody to feel like, oh, this man is just tripping. No, I kind of reset, so I don't know what to think. You know what I mean? From what I could see, personally, this is what I think, because I ain't read it yet. But I've heard about it. So I'm trying to put some 2 and 2s together. It would change if I run across something in the scripture. So that's the whole point of my reset. So I don't say when Brother Mercy opened a can of worms, I was just meaning like, man, like you telling me you don't know? Puh. I don't know. And I did say that. So that's all. I wanted to make sure I said that because I didn't want nobody to feel like hell like this. I mean, yeah, it might be a burning fire. Like, yeah, I don't want to see that either. Either way, I don't want to see it. Okay, but it don't have to be that. It doesn't even have to be a reward for me. That's why I'm basically stating. I mean, and it's a question that you have to ask yourself. Would you do it without the reward? Because let me tell you something. That's what got me at first. Okay, you tell me it's a heaven with golden gates and everybody got mansions. And you know what I'm saying? This is the stories I've heard. Everybody got mansions. It's golden gates. And you go through and you're going to judge it. And then you come to a thought of like, okay, maybe we'll go straight to heaven, but heaven was still there. And then I'm starting to read. It started to recall my memory, like, how come I ain't heard about heaven yet? He ain't said nothing about these golden gates, these pearly streets that I've heard about, these mansions where everybody just go to church every day. That's what I heard. So now I'm like, okay, since I done erased some things, okay, this is what I know so far. And I can base my generalization off of that and work with my way over it. But I cannot think about no hell burning pits until I see burning pits, hells, and we go into Revelation. So we should get to something, and then I can make my full conclusion at the end of this book. So that's why we do this. I don't know. Y'all still there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We here.
Okay.
So you said something about another question that you probably had, or another topic. Since I guess we all. Well, I could see if brother.
Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I could say as far as another topic after this, because I was gonna tell what I thought, what I've seen.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, because I ain't got to that or whatever. But the heaven and hell thing is deep right now. And then Sister Hawkman brought it back up. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? That's deep. Because, man, that could have been, I guess that was like the original topic, I guess. That's how we should have kicked it off. Real talk. But yeah. I don't know. I ain't have another topic after this. This is where it ended up. This is where we at. Got 30 minutes left. I wanted to also, because I know, I'm just saying, whatever I bring up, somebody might want to comment off of. So we could do that. I'll just leave it to this because I ain't had nothing else.
Okay. Didn't you have something? You had something you wanted to speak on as well as far you, or did you already speak on yours already?
Nah, I just said that the agreement on I don't know the heaven and hell thing. I mean, that just brought scriptural, but scriptural to a spiritual aspect. That's why I said that was deep on the first one. Because I probably wasn't even going to go there.
Right.
But, no, I'm going to go. But I will say, you know what I'm saying, as far as the things that I've seen, as far as gifts or miracles and stuff like that. So, I guess as far as with myself, you know what I'm saying, the first thing I would say is the prophecy that I was supposed to come back. Now, that sounds fine and dandy, but of course, the reason why I came back is because I heard from the Most High. And it was in the middle of me doing a bunch of stuff. But I had just told the person that gave me my prophecy, which was my mother, that I ain't believe the prophecy, because it wasn't finna happen. And I was in a state of not finna believing in the Most High. So, I started hearing his voice and whatever. I thought I was crazy, whatever. When I realized it was from the Most High, so I just started listening to it or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably like the biggest thing, you know what I'm saying? For me, that's how I know that the Most High is real. And that's why I can't go back from that. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing got me denying that, because it's like, well, how I even got here was from hearing a voice. And I'm, because I was in some whole other stuff. And so that's for me. But it's not like people think. Okay? That's the thing. When you think of a voice, you might be thinking, oh, don't shoot. It wasn't like that. It was like me. But it was wiser than me. So, because that's how I knew the things it was telling me to do was happening. I'm like, oh, this is deep. You know what I'm saying? But at first, I didn't even know it was the Most High. I thought I was like schizophrenic. So it was the Most High, or I was hearing two voices. I was losing my mind, but this thing was wiser. But when I wrote down what I said, I'm just gonna write down what I hear, and it was like, it was from the Most High when I wrote down what I heard. That's how I knew. I'm like, oh, okay, because I'm telling you, I was like, didn't even know the word for atheist, but that's where I was at. Because I haven't seen nothing, to be honest with you. And all the stuff that I read in this book and heard in this book, man, all this stuff is supposed to be happening, man. I don't understand why. You know what I'm saying? Why am I going through hell? You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So if I'm going to go through hell, I'm going to go through hell standing strong. I'm going to get something out of this life. Going through it anyway. And that was like a maze I kept running into. It's like you get so far and then bam, break it down. And you get up, keep running, bam, same thing, same errors. I'm keep doing something the same because I want to keep something the same. But the thing that you have to let go, that you ain't let go, is the thing that's keeping you in hell. And it's against the will of the Most High. Anything against the will of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Hey, whatever. Just got to catch up on them signs too. But anyway, she gave me a prophecy, and I was supposed to do something before 30. I was supposed to turn back before 30. 4 months came before 30. I said, I don't believe it. I'm crazy right now. You're talking about I'm coming back? We'll see. I couldn't wait till I was like 31. I was holding out, like, just make sure this prophecy didn't come true. You going to bring me back at 40. I don't know why. But like I say, that's what molded me to here. I have seen him heal my life, you know what I'm saying? Because I had, some problems, and I didn't have no money to go to no doctor. So, not no blood and nothing like that. I'm talking about migraines, and I had, little stuff, lumping my foot, and I just had to pray for that thing, let it go, and it was gone. Also, my daughter used to get these boils, and I don't know where they used to come from, but I just put my hand out one time, and I felt something move my hand to her head, and she ain't had a boil since. She ain't been back to the doctor. Before that, she was like, pneumonia, baby, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't know what to do. And, whatever. I mean, it might sound crazy, but, man, sometimes, okay, this is what happened. I had a dream, right? I always have dreams, whatever. That's another thing. I have dreams, but some dreams is like, that's why I say whatever, because some dreams like, man, I was just talking about this today. Some dreams like, whatever. What was that about? Okay? Dog, I can't go to sleep for 2 minutes without having a freaking dream. But some of the stuff it be happening. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? But anyway, I was just going into this, going back. In the dream, I had touched like a light bulb. And the light bulb came on, but it was my left hand. Okay? But ever since then, I've been feeling something. I feel something in my left hand. Anytime I want to put it out, I feel it. Also, like, if I stand still enough, I can feel something move me. It's crazy. But I understand how the spirit works. And I'll be more, on this truth thing, but I know what got me here. And then it might not be as strong as when he first got me here, because that probably was the hook, line, and sinker, but I chased it. That's what I chased. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want it again. And now it's like, all right, I'm gonna show you how to get there. Just you gotta let me lead. That's how that thing works. And I know that's how that works in my life. So, but he had, like I say, he had to do that for me, because I ain't care about nothing y'all talk about. For real. Yeah, I heard all this in what's called it, and it ain't working. And I felt like I was good, though. I felt like I was a good person. Just things kept happening. I was like, you know what? That good don't matter. And that was church good, too, though. Don't get it twisted. Things they told me not to do, not the things the Most High. I see he told me not to do. That's a totally different thing. So who knows what kind of thing I might have been, I don't know. Or it just wasn't my time, or it had to be whatever it had to be. Not saying I went through hell because I was a kid, but that could have just been for my story. So I can know for a fact that he's real. Because can't nobody take that away. Can't nobody take away your experience. Can't nobody take away Sister Hotbar experience. Can't nobody take away Brother Mercy experience. Couldn't speak. I wouldn't have thunk it. Those things are miraculous. And I know the guy got a whole slew of things, too. So, that's because I know, I wish he, I know he can, but I'm pretty sure, what I'm saying, he'll work something out. I didn't even really mean to be like this. But, I mean, that whole, and on some real, I know people probably like tripping about the gift of tongues. But I know that's real. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no faking over, I've experienced, I've done it. But mine was different from what I've seen in church. And I questioned it. And I know other people that have done it. I know they're genuine. And the other people that I heard about that, I'm not talking about the bad people. I'm talking about people that I know are some genuine people and would not lie about this type of stuff. But even myself. But real talk, I said, this sounds like a language to me. It sounds like a language. I put translate, Google Translate, and I wanted to search what language it was, and it came up as Hebrew. And some of the words, it caught some of the words. This is what baby was talking. I can't take that back. I got a slew of things. I gotta let you know what I'm saying, for sure, just let people know he real. But like he might not, you're with him with whatever he showed you. You are with him, and that's the less he had to show you shows how less hard-headed you are to following directions. If he had showed you nothing and you still following him, you are the coldest person in this room. Because it didn't take nothing. You just knew it was right instantly. That's what your spirit connected to. And when that you connected and disconnected, but felt like you disconnected or whatever, or walked away, came back or whatever, even when you back, this is what your spirit connected to. Yeah, and Sister Alpha said something. She said, maybe the whatever deity you was praying to, basically, that's who did it. Whoa. You trying to tell me it could possibly be other gods out there? Possibly. Because at this point, he said, don't follow any other gods. Now I said, but I'm the Most High. Sometimes he said, yeah, those idols are wood or stone, this, that, and the other. It could be some swift things out here. We don't know. I don't know. I can't say it is. Can't say it ain't. The bad part about it, I ain't told you. I mean, I'm not oblivious to what I've been pumped in my brain since I was young. You know, the demon side and the Satan side and the good versus evil, the whole battle. But at this point, I ain't got to that battle. So I'm questioning about, as far as scriptures, you know, I'm in question about a lot of stuff. I ain't got to start. I can roll down. Satan, one of them right now. 50-50. I know about the story in Job, but I just got to wait. And I don't even know where it's at. I just can't wait. I'm at where I'm at, and I can't wait to read that. Because that's the only thing I'm kind of holding on to right now. The other one, when I thought they say Lucifer, you know, all that, I used to run to Isaiah 14. That was a reset thing for me. You know what I mean? But it was. I've heard it before it came, but it was not that far ahead of it because I, you know, when I'm on Facebook. But and he probably had to show me all these things, so I wouldn't question none of it. Who am I to question anything? And I'm a questionable person. Okay, I hold my own doctrines up to fire at this point. So, that's why I say ain't nothing. I'm glad that Brother Mercy brought that out like that. As far as gifts and stuff like that, I've never heard nothing like actually happening like the scriptures according to any, because I haven't had a vision like I had dreams, and the dreams came to something, you know what I'm saying, because that's other stuff too. And I haven't had a vision like she's had. But that ain't on me. I believe in them wholeheartedly, though. Before, you know what I'm saying, but that's the thing, you know what I'm saying, I haven't seen nothing like Shema or like that's Moses' story as far as if you want to keep it real with Brother Mercy. And then the things that I experienced myself, I probably, you know, he just did some, you know what I'm saying, because I know me. That's me knowing me. Y'all don't even know. Tell y'all question it. Because that's where I was at. So, you know what I'm saying, and how he had to pull me. My stepfather used to say it way before I was even there. He said the Most High had to dig deep to get him. That's what he used to say. I ain't even understand it when he told me. I was like, boy, I never thought I was coming. I never thought I'd believe in this book again. You know what I'm saying? After, like, I promise you, like, after all I done been through, man, you crazy. Now, but I had to, you know what I'm saying, like I say, the turnaround. Now, I can call any family member up. The turnaround. They used to talk. They used to laugh at my mom. Yeah, right, him. They say he can't even just do a 180. He got to do the 520. Cause or something. They used to joke. Say, I need to turn around more than once because it just didn't look like it was happening. And then I'm thinking it got to be some kind of process. Nah, you know he real, you'll yield. It happened in the scriptures. People just walk around doing mind their own business. The Most High say something, but they recognized it quicker than I did. I ain't seen no burning bushes. I recognize that. Called me while I was just, hey, oh, what? I mean, it wasn't no voice like that. But it was happening. Everything was happening. It was like I couldn't even make this up. For real. And, man, like I say, anybody in my family could attest to that. That's real. So that's my stuff right there. And the reason why I asked this question, then I'm going to yield the flow. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because it just came to me while I was up there. People could be listening online, and we've gotten to where we gotten. Phil had his questions, you know what I'm saying? But now when you start to question, okay, we never know the path that takes, right? And some people don't have as much to hold on to, but now it seems it's shaking some foundation of whether or not the Most High is real. I got a question. Look, this is what I'm directed to. This is what I'm on, and this is what I've seen, heard, experienced myself. We know it's something here, okay? All we doing is trying to scrub this thing down by ourselves and say, you know what? It's been a lot of years you've been handled. And it's a lot of people saying a lot of things. So what do you really say? Start blowing dust off and you try to see that. That's why it's reset. But as far as me knowing that there is a Most High, I know from personal. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you ain't got to believe me, Hot Mom, but everybody that spoke has a personal thing that they know the Most High done it for them. But even if anybody could think deep down, that small thing that they really thought was small is big, like with Shema. That small thing with mercy. I don't think he ain't saying it was small because he said the person he was. And I said, man, I would have never thought it. Now he's outspoken. Those things are big to, the person is hearing it, and we've trusted you and trusted y'all wisdom on the show. We respect each other as grown men and women. The people that listen online that might not be calling in, they might need to hear that too. So to know, yeah, I'm not questioning the spirit that led me to where I am today, because I know how I got here. And I know, as somebody just told me today, they like, man, to think you got a CDLs and driving a truck is amazing. Them knowing me. So, it wouldn't even be enough time in the day, honestly, to just talk about if people thought about some of them little things. And, well, this one time. So, that's why I kind of thought about this subject. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know I ain't going nowhere. But just like Phil said, we never know who we talking to. We never know who is hearing this and what they feel right now. Somebody can get off the show and say, you know what, I'm done with the whole thing. God ain't real. Yeah, they would have to go off of our stories, but I'm saying, hey, look deep there, you got one too. And even if you don't and you was here, that makes you even better than anybody else. So,
what the
historical?
What is the historical New Testament? Berit Karashah say, faith come by hearing and hearing by the word. So it's like, some people need these things that's spoken, these testimonies of themselves, because they might not have went through it, and the sincerity in the revealing of what took place from the individual can help a person, come to grips that, the Most High could be real. He maybe he is there, to assist and to help. And I'm not using the new to like quote and make it be what it is or what it's not or whatever. For anybody's listening, I don't know your beliefs, but again, that's still a principle in the old. They had love for the Most High, of course, but their faith was through that hearing. I know. Last thing I'm gonna say in regards to this is we don't really touch on the book of Yeshua, but correct me if I'm wrong, Yosef. In that book, Abraham, he was searching out, right? He heard about the Most High. He grew up around it, but he just didn't have the actual understanding he needed. And then once he actually heard from him, that faith went skyrocket. We just look at the Tanakh, and we just see it seemed like Abraham just came out of nowhere, had faith out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But he heard something. He was taught something. What did it say? It showed that Noah and what's the name taught him some things. I'm not trying to go off subject, but I'm just trying to. Yeah. Was it Shem? I believe.
Yeah, but that's in Jasher though. I believe that's in Jasher.
That's what I said. It's outside of. Yeah, that's what I brought out. It was Yeshua, Jasher.
Jasher just said, he was. That's what he was taught by. Shem and Noah.
Right. So he had to hear. That hearing confirmed what he was actually searching for, and that was my point. I was just trying to make a point saying, piggybacking off of a great point that you brought out. So.
Yeah, they did. Well, that's what it showed. Well, that's what Jasher showed. People like if that ain't in the Bible, and I understand. I wouldn't not.
I get it. That's why I made sure I separated it for the listeners.
Yeah,
I separated it. Sometimes these accounts still can help, you know what I'm saying? Like these examples and these accounts, just like, some people might not believe the New Testament is real, but the accounts within it are great principles. A lot of them are, and good life examples. If you are somebody that believes or if you are somebody that don't believe, it's still good examples in there. So I'm saying that to say the same thing with Jasher. I believe fully in the book of Jasher. And Yeshua, especially because it's mentioned all over the Tanakh, or the Tanakh. So that's my take. So that example was to kind of go in parallel.
You just got to be careful though, because I heard there's a couple of them out there. So I heard there's a couple of them out there. But I would say if you don't really know the old or don't want to pair it up. Because that's what I kind of did. I made sure that when they said the story happened over here, I read the story over here. You have to do that too. I want to say that.
Right.
Because then you'll just get to believe and stuff. Because I heard somebody say something about Enoch. And they was like, Enoch say something about a transformer. I said, what was you reading? Something crazy. I was like, what chapter is that? It was something so stupid. When I tell you it was dumb, but it was only because they was trying to make fun of the book of Enoch. They was like, I got the book of Enoch, and it's so dumb, it got something like this. And it posted the scripture or whatever, right? So I have downloaded Enoch. I say, what verse is that or whatever? And I looked. I was like, no, this one say this one. She's like, oh, it must be multiple Enoch. And went and Googled it and found out it's like 6 different Enoch. So we don't know, you know what I'm saying? People don't know which one to mess with. That's the problem. Like, you have to really get this one down. And then get to go into the outside sources, so you better make sure you line up with this, because without that, you might have a whole to a copy, or something plagiarized. A lot of people don't even know it's more than one Jasher and more than one Enoch out there.
Yep. You have to get the specific one that is what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like esteemed as the one. And I forgot his name, man. I ain't gonna go into that though. That's a whole nother conversation. If anybody wants to learn or know that stuff, hit me up. More than welcome to share what I know or share what I've studied. So.
Yeah. That's.
So with that being said, everybody, we wind it down. It's 5 minutes left. I would love for you have your closing remarks, man, and then I'm going to go ahead and do mine, and I'll pray us out. If it's anything anybody has to say before we close out, press 1. But I highly doubt it right now. People have been kind of quiet lately. So go ahead, yourself.
Well, Sister Hawkins, is she in the queue? Mine needs to be.
I don't know if she ever got out the queue or not. Actually, Philip in the queue. So go ahead. Philip always caught coming in at the last minute, man.
I'm gonna bring up. I'm gonna open both of y'all mic and just be respectful. We got 4 minutes left. And go ahead.
Go ahead, y'all.
Am I live? You can hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just had a quick thought really. It's probably just something for y'all to maybe think about for the next show or next time or after the show. But I was listening and I don't know I'm trying to figure out child of God. I'm listening and we said Most High a lot. What is our relationship with God? I know is he our father or is he just like God? And I'm trying to really get a understanding to that. Why we were taught we're children of God. And, if I'm a child of God, then, what prestige or what is, that? Because I'm trying to, read in scriptures to, really understand it. But, of course, I don't have enough time. It's going to take more study. But I just want to see if y'all had any thoughts on that. That's all.
So what's the general question? And then that way what we'll do is we could take it on the because I didn't grasp it. I apologize. We can put it on his talk one, or we could try to, yeah.
Okay. Our relationship with God. We say Most High. I'm really trying to. I listened to everything everybody was saying, and it really just boiled down to how with gifts and all of these things. God speaks to us. So how do we view Him as a father or as God Himself? And our relationship to Him. That's pretty much what I'm getting to.
Actually, you know what? I will answer that. I will answer that on the show. I mean, in the group. So you ain't gotta wait the next show or next rest show. I mean, to get an answer. And then Shamar can comment and all that.
Yes, sir.
So that's that.
This is Hafma, have anything? We're probably not gonna pray out, y'all, because it's about the end. So
no, go ahead and pray out.
Did you have anything, sister?
Sister Hawkman.
You want me to go ahead? You got anything to say?
I forgot.
So you was in the queue. See, I didn't even know if you ever got out the queue. I promise you I did.
Out and I got back in. Oh, I know what it was, but it's too long. It was something that Brother yourself had said, but like you said, we only got a few minutes, so go on and pray.
Go ahead. Go ahead, and what we'll do, we'll answer it in the. Go ahead. We'll answer it on the group.
My question was, he was talking about the Father and